FORZE roster. However, that tilt factor could be setting in. That was a closely fought series against the Gambit youngsters, and the fatigue could be setting in now to these Russian players. Meanwhile, PACT, they've had a nice long break, and they've been watching their opponent's strats as well. They go aggressive up Banana, but Jerry and Almazer, they're opening up with a couple of headshots. Goofy gets 2 back, though, and follows up with a 3rd. That's the B-bomb site given away, and the Polish players running in to get the plant.
They are both on the flank coming through FORZE. They have XC Power, the last man standing, trying to get on to that side. Does pick himself up a kit. 2 headshots is all he needs. 1 towards second oranges, it seems, and the other new box has his back turned towards site. The moment he crosses it, he's getting really anxious. Spots 1, but Darko gets the shot in, and that is going to be PACT taking the pistol around. All of a sudden, it might be the other way around, it seems, with this opening around in the first map of this best of 3 series.
And the odds from our partners over at LootBet coming through, they are favoring PACT on this. And I do actually have to agree with those, leaving the 1.5 on the FORZE end, because they should have won this against the Gambit youngsters as well. But we know there are weaknesses on this map for the side, especially in towards that A short angle. If PACT have been watching the VODs, they'll know they can just run up quickly to A short and overwhelm the defenders more often than not.
There's going to be heavy nades coming through, and a 1-for-1 trade so far. Jerry needs a little bit of help, but will not get it in time. XC Power has the Deagle right behind the smoke, but they're not going to push just yet. Flit playing close range with that Deagle. Very deadly possibility. Actually, he's losing his teammate towards mid, though, and that is very unfortunate for the side of FORZE, because 1 player DC'd, and that is Face Crack, who was right next to Flit as well. Would have put them in a 3 versus 3 situation. Now it's all on XC Power to try and defend the B bomb site. Very tough ordeal to muster, but if they get close range with the Deagle, will not even get himself a single kill. Flit's just rushing forward to try and shut down this PACT defense, but I guess looking for any opening here, maybe a kill, maybe pick up an AK upgrade would be a big plus for him.
Goofy takes him down at range, and FORZE, they've been having internet problems all day. I wonder if that has been impacting them perhaps in such a close series against the Gambit youngsters. We know Almazer was dropping in and out of maps during that series, but I didn't really think about the fact that they could be plaguing some of the other players on the roster as well. No buy for FORZE in round number 3, as their force didn't work out in the last. They've got quadruple nades that they'll look to put down mid, or actually wait for PACT to be drawn in to A before deploying them. This should be a relatively easy round either way for the Polish squad, and FORZE, they're going to be looking ahead to the first full gun round in number 4.
Yeah, I mean, they still have a bunch of HE grenades on the A site. Almazer is burned off the angle, though, and don't think they can get too much done, but I've been debated too many times by teams with just pistols and slightly upgraded pistols. At that, it is not going to be anyone peeking into FORZE. They've actually run this exact same strat before, with 4 HE grenades towards A and 1 player towards B against Gambit youngsters. So it's nice to see, you know, some strats come back every once in a while. We haven't seen it really pay off that much, but Goofy down to 2 HP. The HE grenades flying through actually do a decent amount of damage, but unfortunately not enough to secure a kill, and they're just gonna fall back instead of feeding their lives to this PACT squad.
Just going to try and save the scraps of pistols. They're actually holding for exits, just in slightly more advantageous positions than the straight channel attack. Darko tagged to 8. Don't think he's going to fall to that bomb. He actually does, though. Goofy gets away with it on 2 HP. So 1 kill found, probably not really enough, but in an eco, what are you going to do if you're FORZE? This is the round you should be focusing on. Exapower has an AWP in hand. There should be M4A FORZE on the rest of the squad, and PACT. Now we get to see what they're really made of as they face their first real test in this gun round.
It's going to be a big play needed from Ecstasy Power. We have seen him on the first, well, on this map previously go pretty big on that op. Of course, had a couple of problems when it came to the op duel, though I think that Maniz is slightly lower skilled opper. Not saying that, of course, he is weak in any means, but he was up against one of the strongest oppers in the entire tournament from Gambit Youngsters. So that is just in general a class difference. Mainly Ecstasy Power. It does seem that he knows that there is a player close by in Darko, but whiffs the shot, and Darko calls that the opper is towards B. So they're going to actually try and swarm him in Banana, it seems. They are slowly moving that direction. Ecstasy Power is just trying to get some wall bangs in, but they have 3 smokes, 2 mollies, and an HE grenade to try and flush out this FORZE defense, whereas FORZE only have 2 flashes, and that is it. But FaceCrack is rotating in, has the flash available, which he could toss to try and go for the peek here. There's going to be the flash, pop flash coming out, peek wide. Jerry is... Wait, what happened? Team kill. But
yeah, Jerry peeks out, but then Goofy does find the kill onto Jerry, but has to take Darko down, I believe, in order to get it. Either way, the way the spray downs work out, it results in Goofy taking down Darko and it ending up in a 4-on-4 scenario.
Yeah, I got a little bit distracted with the bright colors coming orange. Almazur on the A side. No one actually decided to rotate back in time, and that's a bomb plant coming in. Only 4 seconds left on the clock, and PACT have full control of that bomb site. The retake is gonna be coming in, but Maniz whiffs a shot on FaceCrack. That is a crucial shot that you need to connect. Lunatic will spot out FaceCrack with his back turned towards Lunatic, and that is a double up for him. Now it's all on Ecstasy Power, but this is just safe territory for him. And PACT taking round number 4 in their favor.
Starting to look a little bit worrying for FORZE now. After the way they lost that last series, the mental factor obviously a consideration, and if they allow PACT more rounds on the T side, it could get quite dangerous for FORZE in this series. It's not like PACT are incompetent on this map. They do have a 53% win rate on it, and whilst they were trounced by OG recently, they have managed to beat sides like Arvez and Existence on this map. So FORZE do still need to have their wits about them here, and PACT, they're slightly stronger on this T side, which I suppose slightly benefits FORZE in the fact that they can still recover this CT side, but it is a CT-sided map in general. That's a massive play from Jerry, however, pushing forward and taking the initiative. Big double kill. Maniz is only on 18, but can get 1 back. Goofy, I don't know if he knows the positioning of Jerry. He doesn't seem aware, so starts to back away, but Almazur has dropped the bomb now, and Jerry has found Goofy turning away at the wrong moment. FORZE turn on the aggression, and it works out for them in round number 5.
Yeah, just a straight up mid rush from Jerry with the SMG, just unaware on the PACT squad that that sort of play was possible. They get themselves trampled towards the T ramp and overwhelmed. Now they're going to be picking up the double op setup on FORZE, and this might be the turning point in their favor. Of course, big green sticks, very expensive weapons. Jerry tried to go for the run boost right there, but unfortunately, timing not perfect on the mark. It is going to be the quick peek from Almazur. Gets tagged down thanks to that molly. Is going for the wide peek and catches out Lunatic. This is re-peeking in, but of course needs to be very careful because that is a headshot angle if you've ever seen one. But a man advantage for FORZE nonetheless.
Almazur finds the second as well. Big work done by this AWP, and I made the comparison at the last Inferno matchup for FORZE. Sleeping Giants takes a little while, but when they do wake up, they do start scoring. The issue is they can lose control of that momentum after they obtain it. They can't quite seem to have a full gas tank in these maps to carry their streaks forward, but Almaza, I mean, he's burning fuel in this round and it's working out for FORZE. 3 huge kills with that AWP. He's basically shut down the round on his own, and FaceCrack just adds insult to injury with that kill through smoke.
Yeah, and they have no money left on the PACT side, so they're probably looking at an eco into the next, and then you're looking at a 3-4 score, which is pretty much evened out already. Don't really think Sobol will be able to get much done, and Almazar there with his 4th of the round. Big kills coming out from him to shut down this PACT push. And yeah, their money is atrocious on PACT. They've got nothing left, and this should be a straight up, almost full eco on their side.
And this could be FORZE finding their way back into the map now. It pretty much is a must-win for them as their strongest map in the pool. With Train up next, well, it's not necessarily all said and done for FORZE on that map. It is the pick of PACT, and they should have a slight advantage on it. The Pistols charging forward in this round, and that is a total cleanup. Somebody's got the mop and bucket out, and Flip has wiped away the PACT stains from that mid push. Maniz looking to find something in the late round with his Glock, but given nothing. A clean round for FORZE. They put themselves up on 3, and PACT now can get the full guns out. This gives us an opportunity to talk about our case partners over at Hellcase, and if you use the promo codes MaltaV and MaltaV15, you can save more and grab what you deserve. Technical pause coming out by the looks of things, but it's only a brief one, so PACT going to be getting straight back into this one. No AWP available on the purchase, but they are going to take the tactical to have a bit of a talk about strategy.
Not that bad of a choice for PACT. Of course, this is going to be the buy round, not the best utility, but they do have a little bit to use. I mean, for the B site, you really kind of need mollies. A site, you can do most things with smokes, flashes, and I guess 1 molly for the pit. But B site, you kind of need to just flush out as many angles as possible. You kind of want to molly at first oranges and 1 at new box at least. Shadow, actually, you kind of need 3 to just make sure that you get that full bomb site control. So I would expect an A take, but it's most likely still going to be B. However, that banana control is going to be tough with very little utility. It always is, where you just get overwhelmed by the fact that they have 50 million mollies, smokes, and flashes coming through. This aggression coming out from Jerry again. The molly is actually covering the aggression from Jerry. XSC Power holding the back of his Jerry right there. Sobol gonna peek out wide, and they actually read it completely. Flit does get goofy though, and XSC Power burns Lunatic down. It is going to be a 3-on-3 situation. XSC Power towards that A site is alone and will need a little bit of help, but is going to aggressively peek in towards App right now. Might get caught out completely. Think he might have been spotted right there. Sobol's going to peek. Oh, he spots the barrel, and that is an easy kill for Sobol. The A bomb site is empty, and the rotation is on its way, but FaceCrack, does he expect Maniz so close? He does, but Maniz still wins that duel, and that is a FORZE around a loss. The aggression, or I assume so, the bomb has not been planted yet. Actually, they still haven't decided where they want to plant it just yet. It does seem to be the A plant coming through, and Almazar, can he get anything done in this round? The timing is not on his side just yet, but they pretty much expect him to still be stuck on that B bomb site.
They just wait a while to plant, I feel, so that they can try and corral Almazar into banana. They just get the positioning after the plant comes through, and they have a lot of time to clear out different portions of the map as well. Almazar has turned around at the right time, and Maniz at the wrong one. That's given Almazar a lot of room to maneuver, and I can't see the remaining rifles going in and hunting from PACT. So it is a 5th round for the Polish squad, but AWP save forward and plenty of cash available for FORZE to work with and buy up into the next, and probably the one after as well.
That is still the double op setup coming out from FORZE. They have still a decent amount of money on their side. The aggression towards mid just got completely read by PACT. They knew exactly what was going on and they shut it down. So a good read from them and a good take in general. FORZE, that aggression, yeah, as said, it did not pay off. So probably don't use that anytime soon again, unless you can commit on the defense. But Maniz wins that duel against Almazur. They went for the cheeky boost towards jungle. Jerry will pick up the op instead and fall back. But towards mid, oh my god, ecstasy power is going to get shut down by Maniz as well. And that is another. Both oppers get taken down. Face crack is inside Boiler and he gets nothing. Luckily Flick gets 2, but it's all on Jerry with the op. Close range against Darko. It is looking disastrous for FORZE. Yes, they will be able to buy again into the next round, but these rounds are not looking close at all. They're just peaking in wrong angles every single time.
6-3 lead for PACT on the T side of Inferno, and if Maniz is going to start waking up on this map, FORZE may be in severe trouble. That third kill there, a no-scope from Maniz. He triples up with the AWP in that round. His sniper should be recoverable by his teammates as well, and Goofy will pick it up to bring forward. No one contesting Jerry. So that AWP is going to be a feature in the next round. Double AWPs will probably come out again as Almazur still has $10,000 to work with. However, this cash from FORZE is going to break eventually. Just winning 3 rounds though, they put themselves on so much money by getting through them so cleanly.
A very good job so far from the Actina PACT side there. Getting everything going in their favor. 6-3 already on their T side. FORZE, they did not, I think they did not manage to finish it off on their T side against the Gambit youngsters earlier this evening, which is actually still a long time ago considering they went to OT. But it is still a problem for FORZE, and so far they have not shaken off their chills just yet. Might be the fatigue, but Flick does manage to get a kill, will get traded out by Sabol immediately. And as we know, a 1-for-1 trade favors the T's more often than not.
This may be one of those rare occasions when it doesn't though, because finding the trade is now going to draw PACT into the A bomb site, and FORZE are stacked up and waiting for them. The Molotov has pushed Exapower back a little bit though, so it's working as intended. That HE doesn't find any damage really, but Exapower up close and personal, he has to be dealt with on this AWP. He's found Goofy, and that's the man advantage going back to the CTs now. Face crack underneath the balcony. PACT, they're a bit disjointed and there's not enough time left on the clock. It looks like they want to bail out and push Banana, but Almazur is very aggressive and Exapower has already rotated over to defend this B bomb site. It's a very high time pressured round now for PACT. Almazur could shut it all down here. In fact, Exapower, he's already done it with that AWP. No chance for Sobol, and it is FORZE back on the scoring.
Yeah, that was a nice one for them to shut them down. They will, I mean, just having so much money every single time on the CT side keeps them on the buys going, whereas PACT, their money is disastrous and they're going to force up behind this. They have 2 AKs, a MAC-10 and 2 pistols to try and turn this one around. If they lose this one, it is going to be FORZE 6-6 tied up with this PACT squad. And that is something you definitely do not want to have happen on PACT, because you really want to continue the streak. The AK spray coming through is pretty much Tag City, but the Jerry nade coming in to get the kill will actually get taken out. But Almazur holds down left mouse, a lot of damage being dealt, but will he expect face crack on site? Maniz, the last man standing? No, he does not even consider the notion that he might be there already and will get himself taken down. That is going to be 5 for FORZE and a possible 6 in the wind.
a likely 6th, as well as PACT are taking the decision to eco towards the end of their T side. And perhaps things are starting to get dangerous now for the Polish squad, as FORZE, they themselves are stronger on the T side of this map, and they've just about tied up the scoreline in the first half. It's a flurry of frags coming through in quick succession. Sobel can get 1 in return, but he's lost 3 teammates very early on in this round, and his ally Lunatic only has a Glock in hand. This should be the 6th conversion fairly quickly, but Sobel has taken Jerry down. Exapower has a defender, so the Glock won't remove him early. It's all tied up, but the guns are back out on the T side.
It's now going to be the buy coming through. No op on the T side, though, so you're going to have... okay, they are going to stick with the 1 op setup for FORZE. Just let Ecstasy Power do all the opping, and the rest of them are going to be sticking to the rifles instead. Utility-wise, though, PACT have many options to go for in this round. They can definitely just try and wait out all this FORZE utility, which... towards banana normally is the plan. You throw 2 flashes that, you know, forces out all the mollies and HE grenades in return. And Flit in apps getting smoked out. I mean, he has been pretty aggressive in apps most of these rounds. Noble's actually going to crawl down, get close. If the smoke dissipates, Flit might be caught out. Ecstasy Power gets the catch onto Maniz. Sobel pushes out wide, but... Jerry was on the other side. I had absolutely no idea what Jerry was shooting from.
Well, they had no idea either. He's using the silenced M4, so they can't use the sound to guide them. And Jerry gets a very nice double. He's rotated over to the B side of the map, where he'll be called upon once again in round 13. No rotation coming through just yet from his teammates, and that's going to give the bomb site away for free there. A bit of an odd one that they wait to go through, and Exapower is a lot further forward than his teammate. Needs to wait for FaceCrack to arrive on this retake. There are a lot of utility available, though, for this FORZE retake. A Molotov, a nade, and 2 flashbangs, but not very much time left, and they need to find Lunatic at close range.
Lunatic does win that dual. Ecstasy Power with the op in hand, but only expects the 1. That's going to be packed on 7. They will, again, I mean, honestly, FORZE, the rounds that they win, they keep so clean that they always have money for another buy. Pretty much. PACT is never up against an eco, it seems. And they still can, if FORZE win this round, of course, PACT are going to be forced on an eco / well, force up themselves, which is not going to be that great. So this round pretty much does decide who is going to be getting the advantage on the first map half so far. The op shot's going to connect onto Maniz, tags him low, but no kill just yet, and that is unfortunate for Ecstasy Power.
Utility favoring FORZE at the moment, and PACT try and get close to the A-bomb site, but that Molotov does keep them at bay. A second one's going to go down in short off the back of that, and FORZE, they've heard the sound cues. They know PACT were thinking about an A rush there, but instead they are deterred from doing so, and this suggests to me that they have not done the research against FORZE for this matchup. We saw both Level Up and the Gambit youngsters were able to exploit quick plays into A short and take control of the site. But PACT have not tried to utilize that strategy at all throughout their half, unless they had basically just Glocks and no body armor to work with. So perhaps a bit of a missed opportunity there, as now they slow down and wait for utility to be expended. But it's Maniz who falls first to the AWP of Almaza, and there are still smokes and flashes available for the CT side.
It is still a very big shot coming up from Ecstasy Power, getting a collat through the smoke, getting Sobel as well. Jerry rushes through the smoke, but it is going to be Flit getting the final hit in, and with that, the money on PACT is gone. Ecstasy Power gets himself a pat on the back, and it is 7-7 right now. This was not bad.
He'll take that. Better than a miss at least. And that puts them up on to 7 rounds, all tied up on the first half. It's 1 round going either way, and who is going to be taking the advantage into the second? PACT are going to be kind of desperate for it, as this is their stronger side of the map. They do have top banana control, but there's so much utility available for the CTs still that it's no easy route into the B bomb site, and there are 3 defenders stacked up and waiting for the pistols to walk in.
Nade landing onto Darko, a little bit of damage dealt, but it does seem like they're just gonna go for the straight up B push with 1 molly and 1 flash. It's all they have. They can't even cover the cross because no one bought a smoke on the PACT side. And Face Croc, okay, the molly is a little bit far away to try and defend the B bomb site, but they definitely just can easily straight up win the duel here. Almazer with that op in hand will peek off the angle right now. It's tagged slightly. Facecrack is going to get overwhelmed. Jerry does luckily enough chime in for a kill. Sobel catches out Jerry. Oh no, Almazer down to 10 HP. And they will go for the double peek a little bit. I mean, that was pretty much the bait and switch more than a double peek. Sobel getting aggressive with the op. He's trying to catch out Flit. And whiffs the shot. It's all on Maniz. Has armor, has the AUG, and is gonna go for the double spray attempt, but loses it in the end. And that is gonna be FORZE getting themselves 8 on the board and winning the half. By the way, I have been saying it both ways the entire evening, but is it Almazer or Almazer?
Almazer is what I've been going with. And with that, FORZE have their 8th round and the round lead at the end of the half. 16 kills for Almazer at the head of the ship for his team, with Flit and Exapower following up. It's really been dominating the fragging for FORZE, but they're only 1 round ahead, despite winning out the majority of the gunfights. Now they switch on to the T side to try and secure their own map pick and advance on to train with 1 in the back pocket. PACT looking to try and deny that now, though, on the CT side of Inferno, and they're bringing scraps of utility into the pistol. Our partners over at LootBet, their faith is in FORZE with a 1 round advantage heading on to the T side. If they can win that pistol, those odds might be justified.
Yeah, it does seem, I mean, it might be a little bit much, but it definitely does seem pretty legit there. Nade, unfortunately, going a little bit deep. The flash trying to keep them at bay, but they're just going for the straight rush forward. And it will be a tap fight coming out, but they managed to get themselves all the kills on the PACT side. And it seems very likely that they're going to win both pistols right now, 8-8, with PACT taking the lead, taking the advantage.
All tied up again, but that second round force from FORZE, the dangerous prospect, and it is ready and waiting to go. Tech 9s, Mac 10s, but Exapower not picking up body armor to save for the AWP. It's the fairly standard purchase from the Russian squad in the second rounds of the half, and they look to be taking the pistols towards A. Nice nade onto Flit's head early, though, as one of the only players with head armor. That's going to bring him into 1-shot headshot potential for the majority of the weapons on this CT side. But utility is now being deployed by FORZE, and they're looking to sprint out onto A.
Sobel does fall into pit after getting himself, well, Goofy actually getting the first kill. And Sobel gets himself a second, down to 1 HP. And with Maniz and Goofy chiming in, they don't have to lose a single player on PACT, and their defense holds nicely. That should be 10-8 in the favor of PACT, because the next round is going to be pretty much an eco on this side of FORZE. And PACT, they definitely give themselves a solid chance here to take this map away, to steal this map away from their opponent.
There's potential, but they need to foster it. This is interesting from FORZE. They've gone for the force up. No eco for them here. Exapower keeping 1.5k in the bank. But all this utility deployment should basically tell PACT that it is no eco already. FaceCrack has eaten some nade damage towards the bottom of mid. And now they're looking to sprint up Banana, but the SMGs are ripping them apart. Why on earth did they choose to force into this round? Now they have to take another eco and let PACT up onto 11 rather than the 10 they otherwise would have. I've just seen another Tech 9 buy coming out. They're just going to force again.
I guess they want to have an early night. This, I mean, I can get behind a force buy if you get the bomb plant and get the extra cash, or, well, it's a semi buy this time. So they will have a buy into the next one, nonetheless. But if you go for a force buy, it normally is off of the back of you almost wiping the enemy team, so their economy is pretty much destroyed. But with that previous round, not the one right before they forced up, just being a full clean sweep for the PACT side, a force up really does not bode well for your team. Even if you would manage to kill them, they would still have a buy into the next round.
They're playing it slower this time and looking to move into the A bomb site. Flashes going away and pushing out of the apartment. Scoofy finds the opener onto Almazer and gets the second on FaceCrack. Jerry can find one in return with his Tech 9. That's Maniz falling down, but rotations are on the way and the riflers are still finding kills within the bomb site. Flit has recovered an AUG, which means he could find damage, but Lunatic has arrived from B and put him to an early grave. That is 11-8 up for PACT before the buy comes through from this FORZE squad, and Lunatic getting kills there with the MP9 and upgrading onto the AUG for free means that he's going to have 9k in the bank. Goofy has nearly that much as well. Pretty good cash-wise for PACT heading into this half.
Yeah, Maniz with the op versus ecstasy power. It is going to be a duel of the oppers. Peek out wide. But Maniz wins that duel, and PACT, oh, he is feeling it right now, a lot more awake than that we saw previously on Overpass that Maniz played. Definitely feeling it on Inferno, might be his home turf there, and that is a two-man advantage for PACT. And FORZE, they might just get themselves flushed out of their map pick.
That would be very dangerous indeed, as Train... It's not terrible, but it's not exactly where FORZE want their chances of survival to lie in the series. Especially considering they would have taken a loss on their strongest map in the pool to PACT at that point in time. Recently, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. Losses to Endpoint and Fate, and coming very close against Dignitas, but just about edging it out earlier on this month. There's 3 players left for FORZE. They're trying to get into the B bomb site. Lunatic only really needs 1 kill here on the defense to make the retake imminently winnable by the PACT side. He's not been able to find any through the smoke, so staying alive has to be the substitute option here. As long as they can keep 5 up before the smokes dissipate, the retake should be able to come through from the PACT side. It's going to be on Flit and co to try and defend, and Maniz has already taken down the T-side AWPer.
Yeah, the retake should not be that hard. They even smoke off the banana area. It is going to be Jerry up on top. We'll get the catch onto Lunatic, but they should not get much more done. FaceCrack gets 1 as well, but it is going to be the bomb defuse, and Actina PACT taking themselves their 12th round. Were they always called Actina PACT?
I believe Actina may be the name of their title sponsor, hence why they have a bit of an adjustment in the naming vibe on that one. 12-8 up though for PACT at the moment. AKs can come out from FORZE. That's the silver lining at this point. The loss bonus basically allows them to just continue to invest into these rounds. And while they won't have AWPs available, Exapower has been losing recently to Maniz. Darko goes very aggressive. Exapower can trade that one out, but those nades nearly put him away. They can tell they're expecting CT aggression to come through. The Molotov could still find Exapower. Down he goes in the flames. And yet again, PACT find the early man advantage.
Yeah, that is a 4 versus 3 situation. It's just not working out for FORZE at all on their T side. Completely fumbling everything that they're doing right now. Flash was actually not even on the mark. Kind of, the flash landed behind him, but then not in a correct way. So that could have been disastrous as well. Goofy is boosted up on side. Will he check that angle in time? Almazer? Yes, he does. Spot it out. And Lunatic will chime in for kill. Smoke's coming out. Tries to push past the smoke, the molly, but the smoke did not cover him enough. And now it's going to be a 2-on-2 retake. Maniz with the op in hand. But that smoke is going to give them so much control on the side of FORZE. The op shot from Maniz whiffing right there. And it is Maniz finally tapping in. Flit gets taken down. It is all on Maniz versus FaceCrack. Has to get rid of FaceCrack. Could also just go for the stick, and he's gonna do it because pros do not fake, and FaceCrack does not get the kill in time. CTs win that round. Actina PACT get away with murder there because pros do not, and I repeat, do not fake.
Cheeky ninja in the B-bomb site from Maniz. Perfect flashbang. Milliseconds later, and he would have been taken down, but he does get through it. 13-8 up now. PACT, their economy going to take a bit of a beating in that one, as they did lose all of their players. But Lunatic and Goofy, we mentioned how big their cash reserves were, so of course the sniper is going to come back out for Maniz, and this is where FORZE start to sweat. 13-8 is a really tough scoreline to be up against, and I think it is the most rounds an opponent have had up on them so far. Is looking rather dangerous now for the T side, as we're heading into PACT's pick of train next. And in this round, FORZE look as though they may just walk into a 4-man stack.
It is gonna be a pretty tough one if they do actually push forward on this one. They are going to pick the bomb and head towards the B bomb site. It seems that is going to be their plan of attack, with one lurker in Flit. Of course, he has been, even against Gambit Youngsters, pretty much been lurking the entire time. Maniz does not even expect him to possibly be in Boiler. And the rotation's coming out. Flit gets taken out by Sobol in the meantime. Flash is coming through. Ooh. And the jump through from Darko gets them a man advantage all of a sudden. Another flash coming in. And he gets through. They're stuck inside Banana, and they have to push forward to try and get the bomb planted. FaceCrack gets a one and done. Lunatic, he's absolutely, well, he is his name right now. He's a complete lunatic. Complete, no idea what was going on around him, but eventually does manage to turn it into his team's favor.
Big sprays on the B bomb site there, and I think this is the fatigue starting to set in for FORZE now. Struggling to keep up firepower-wise against PACT. They are winning the gunfights against players who are traditionally just better than them in their relevant departments. 14-8 up. The buys just keep coming through from FORZE. There's very limited utility available. They're just trying to take dry gunfights at this point, and now they're eating HE grenades at the bottom of mid as well. 1 molly and 1 flash left available in total for the side. They're going to try and take dry gunfights on the A bomb site, but Maniz is waiting with the AWP. Bomb drop. Jerry can get him back at bare minimum, but Sobol has found Flit in the apartment. Goofy can rotate in closer and look for FaceCrack off the back of that flash as well. Jerry can't convert onto Goofy, and it's 15-8 up for PACT. FORZE, I wonder whether they have run out of fuel to keep themselves going at this point in the evening.
Yeah, it does seem very likely. Of course, PACT, I mean, I just checked. They lost twice against OG 2-1. That's honestly not a bad result. Their losses lately have been against Gambit Youngsters and OG. not bad teams to lose against, but they definitely seem like they're completely awake compared to FORZE, who might just, I mean, after that very long, tiring series, haven't had any solid rest in between, and this might really be doing them in. It does seem like they just disorganized. Their aim is just completely off the mark, whereas Actina PACT look pretty much refreshed and ready to go in all of these duels.
And I mean, you can tell that the fatigue is setting in just from the economic decisions. FORZE haven't taken an eco on the T side at all. They won a single round on this T side. I don't even think they have. It's 15-8 at the moment. They've just forced every single round and lost it. That really does indicate that it might be over for them stamina-wise. They just don't seem to have the energy left to take these gunfights. They're not making economic decisions in these rounds. They're just pushing close as possible to the sites. This is their best chance so far at winning a round, as they haven't lost a player very early on, and they have the utility to convert into the site. But Darko's found face crack. Lunatic takes down Almaza. The Tech-9 rushes around into Darko's crosshairs. There's yet to be a kill coming through from the FORZE side, and PACT clean it up very quickly indeed. 16-8 from the Polish squad. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to train. Don't go anywhere. The second map of this series coming up after this quick break.
Shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. It is time for map 2 of our last series of the day. It's the pick of PACT and their chance to 2-0 things in the decider. They 16-8'd FORZE on their own pick of Inferno in a very dominant bout for the Polish squad, and it looked as though maybe FORZE might have run out of energy towards the end of that map. My name is Protalis, and joining me again is DK Truman. How are you feeling ahead of train?
I mean, with the performance of FORZE in the last one, they got, I think, 0 rounds on their T side on their own map pick, which is of course pretty abysmal to see. They just, they forced up constantly. They just had no structured team play coming through. It just felt completely off. It might be the fatigue. It might be the fact that it's just, late or whatever. It just did not feel like the force that I was expecting to see on Inferno. And with that, this map pack is actually PACT, one of their best maps out there, and it's not that good for FORZE. So I kind of can see PACT taking this in a 2-0 if FORZE are going to continue with the way that they were playing in the previous map.
Certainly. And I mean, statistically speaking, FORZE should have a chance on train, but when you put it into the context of this series, they just took a 16-8 loss against PACT on their best map in the pool. Heading on to train, it doesn't really bode well for them. And the big issue for my money on that T side was they didn't win a single round. That's a problem, but they didn't eco either. They lost every single round of that T side, and they never dropped down to the pistols and took an eco to preserve their economy. It looks as though we are ready to get underway with our second map of the series. The knife round between PACT and their opponents, FORZE here. Both sides really going to be fighting for that CT start. And you have to say it, if FORZE start on the T side, I don't think they're going to be able to get much done if PACT get an early streak of rounds on the board.
It is actually, statistically speaking, FORZE have one more on their T side than on their CT side, but PACT, they definitely are a lot stronger on their CT side. So if they manage to win that knife round, I assume we're going to see PACT start on that CT end, and it is going to be FORZE winning it out, and I assume they will be picking the CT side themselves. It is the case indeed. FORZE on the CT, PACT on the T, and well, the pistols, of course, gonna create a lot of space. Are we gonna see the B rush with the Molly picked up on the T side? I at least hope that we're gonna see a smoke on the CT side, because that's something that a lot of people forget to buy most of the time, and on a map like Train, it could bite you in the keister very heavily.
The odds from our partners over at LootBet, I mean, it's basically a 50-50 with a 1% edge in PACT's favor. The last 2 maps they've played here on Train, they've managed to defeat OG 16-9, which is certainly promising. But starting on the more difficult T side, they do have work ahead of them. Almaza, the only defender of the B bomb site, is going to wait and explode out of the upper high ground. Darko can get him back after a single kill. That means that the bomb plant can go through now that Sobol is making more room in the B bomb site. Jerry gets a kill back onto Lunatic, but Sobol is waiting for this Exapower peak, keeping him at bay and eventually converting that kill as well. 2-on-3 scenario. Flip pushes forward and gets a headshot, but takes a bullet to the back of the skull. He's not been taken down, though. That could allow Jerry some space to maneuver and look for Darko at close range. He's dancing between the crosshairs, but Manise has now taken down Flit. Leaves Jerry in a 1-on-2 scenario on the B bomb site. Darko is literally just running him into A, as far away from the bomb as possible. That puts him under too much time pressure, and without a kit, this round is already over.
Yep, that is a nice defense from PACT. All they needed to do was keep them distracted, and they did exactly that. PACT win the opening pistol and start the map off with an advantage. Very solid one, just going for the aggression right there. Of course, only one B defender did bite them on FORZE side. They will be forcing up with the double scout setup, XC Power is not going to fully invest because he wants to buy an op if they would lose this round. And Almazar is actually saving up the same amount of money, so he might actually go for an op as well. Oh, never mind, he did buy an SMG in the end right there, just a little bit slacking behind. Was thinking that he possibly could save up for the double op setup, which of course you're not the biggest fan of at the start of the game, but definitely is viable. The scout shots from Flit come through, get a tag on Maniz, flash comes in.
Ooh!
Gets a no scope tag right there. 3 tags towards Ivy, so much damage dealt with that one scout right now. I mean, this is super doable right now for the FORZE squad.
That second scout tag, totally blind Flit, running around, just blindly left clicking, and something ends up connecting that. And he's waiting for the Jerry push. He needs to guess the angle right at the moment, and he has, but Maniz has the headshot lineup on that one. There are 2 AKs that were on full HP. Sobol looks like he's taken a Deagle tag, but it's Maniz who could still make a mess of this round. Exapower finds Sobol on low HP. Almazar takes down a low Maniz as well. And Facecrack up against a full HP Darko. Can't win out that engagement, but the low HP players are being cleaned up by the scout at the moment. And that's left Darko in a 1-on-2 scenario. Bomb recovered, and he needs to find the head of that scout, really, because Almazar is a nuisance on that MP9. Now he's taken a tag. He has to find this next kill cleanly, but he's going to run out to the B bomb site instead. Exapower now can just wait here with the scout to find a kill, and there's so little time. Darko has to get away here, has to get onto the site without taking a tag. He's such low HP, they're just going to rush straight into him. AK out now. He gets around the right side of the train at close range. Exapower's been taken down. 11 versus 14 HP as Almazar appears to have taken some full damage at close range. It's Darko on the AK. Headshot comes through, and a very close round for PACT to win.
Yep, but now is the question, FORZE, with that massive amount of damage dealt, you gonna save up or you gonna force up into this round? Because you could turn this one quickly. Great job from Darko to clutch it up for his team. Incredibly close, but eventually does manage to get the advantage going right there. And that is 2-0 for PACT. It is not going to be a force up on FORZE side this time. Instead of their T side of Inferno, they are going to be playing the economic game a little bit better. Will they, however, be able to get anything done this round? It is possible. They have a couple of Deagles behind them, but a slow push towards B should just net this PACT squad a free round.
They're just going to wait for some aggression before going in, but the lack of body armor is what makes this easy for PACT. Exapower having a bit of a jiggle with the Deag, looking for a head. Has found one now, but it is mobile and it dodges away from the bullets. Free plant to come through on the B site, and these FORZE pistols look like they want to rotate in and find some damage in this retake. Up close and personal, Sobol and Goofy with those Mac 10s. They might want to be careful that they don't fall down to the pistoliers at close range. They're actually going to wait for the pushes in CT and set up a bit of a crossfire at the moment to look for the late round damage. Sobol takes down Facecrack. There goes Jerry at close range as well. It's Goofy now looking for bonus money, and it's all really being earned by PACT right now. Almazar can't get Goofy on the Mac 10, and Flit alone on a P250, just trying not to give bonus cash to his opponents at this point as they pick up the 3-0 conversion on the T side of train.
It is going to be Flit with that P250, see if he can get himself a bonus kill in the end. Goofy could be tapped down and will actually not fall, so it is 3-0 for PACT. But the ops coming out from FORZE right now, XC Power with the op. Almazar picking up the AUG. We see a lot of that AUG still being picked up. Whereas, you know, with, of course, the nerfs to the SG553, no one picks it up anymore. But the AUG still does seem to be a little bit of a favorite for some of the players, especially on the long-range map like Train or Nuke. It mainly gets picked up with these long range angles. Jerry gets tagged heavily to start it off with. Don't really know exactly by what. I assume just a small spray down coming in from the Actina Pack squad. But they are playing a default here. The smoke's coming out. They're trying to aggress through hell. Olaf right now. Op is close by, but Darko does not expect Flit to be towards Sandwich. Goofy is completely blinded up, praying his hearts out, but it is not going to be too much. Landed. Flit actually gets another one right there. A lot of damage is being traded out between the two sides. Lunatic and Sobel versus Jerry and Almazer, but Lunatic and Jerry both, Sobel and Jerry very low. Lunatic does spot him out, and that is one bullet needed with the MAC-10. But does he expect a player towards Ivy? No, he does not. And with that, Sobel is going to rush towards that B bomb site to get the plant in. And with the location of Almazer, this should be a pretty safe plant. Indeed, might even get very aggressive to boot. He's going for the defensive play instead. I mean, that angle that he planted the bomb does make it that Almazer expects a player to be all the way in the back of B. So it is going to be interesting to see how Sobel plays this one out.
He's only on 12 HP, which means if that Molotov goes down in the right place, this round is all but over. Sobel can't go through it now, has to give his position away and push Almazer on the upper ground. That's the easy frag found, but there's no time. Almazer does not have a kit to work with. He goes too slowly. FORZE, that is just not good enough, unfortunately. Does everything perfectly, but just isn't fast enough. And that's all lost by shifting closer to the back of B earlier on. What a huge blunder.
Just slow walking the entire way cost him the round in the end. It is unfortunate. I mean, with the Molly, it was actually a really good play, as you said, but he wasn't even going for the defuse or anything. So there was no reason for his opponent to rush through the Molly and put him in a precarious situation either. It is going to be the FORZE squad on weaker weaponry. Nade. I mean, that was as right in your face as I've ever seen a nade land. Facecrack trying to play a game on ladder with the Swag 7 will not get a kill and will eventually die from Minis, who's just playing the ladder jiggle. And it is pretty much the round over for FORZE here. 5-0 should be on the table for PACT. I mean, that nade was actually like right there.
Yeah, hit him straight in the face. It could have killed him by contact if it didn't explode. And that's just a good read from PACT. They expect some early B aggression might come through. FORZE are a side who do like to go for cheeky pushes here and there. Almost has crept up and picked up an AK at bare minimum, but he's not going to be able to convert this round, realistically speaking. Just wants to keep the weapon up, because if he survives with a gun, it means he can drop a gun to either Facecrack or Jerry so that they don't have to take a FAMAS or an MP9. But 5-0 at the start of the T side of Train is very good news for PACT indeed. FORZE, they're going to need to put a stop to this streak soon. Otherwise, it's going to be a rather quick 2-0 for the Polish side.
We hear the bell ringing there to signal the win for PACT, but now the buy round coming out. Excess power with the op, and it seemed Almazer dropped the op. Okay, because he saved that AK, he's going to stick with the AK, drops the op to ecstasy power, and let's see if he will be able to get anything done. Last round with the op, I think he did get 1 kill, but the fact that he's on 2 kills in 5 rounds on a player of the caliber of ecstasy power, that is just not good enough. Meniz is going to get caught out. Flash completely blinded. Ecstasy power gets himself a kill as well, and that is a 2-man advantage all of a sudden for FORZE at the beginning of the round. 30 seconds in and 2 men down. Pretty problematic for PACT. It's a 4-man stack towards A as well, and it is them being forced back at the moment.
Looks like they're going to take the bomb around to B for now. There's no one in Pop Dog to hear the sound cues either, but they do suspect that after losing 2 players on the A site, they have a look around at getting into B. So Exapar just going to be waiting in the wings with his AWP. Wallbang's trying to come through, but Lunatic just about dodging the bullets. And there is a smoke to hand. Almost as very close on top of this train, which means they're going to need a pixel-perfect shot to take him down. The Molotov clearing angles, but not the one that Almaza is holding from the high ground. He finds the headshot, and that should be the round all but over for PACT, really. Sobol's going to try and creep forward for a kill. Does take Almaza down, and Goofy has a pretty creative position on A, actually. He has total control of the bomb site and can call his teammate to come down through Pop Dog. He has to be rather quick at getting onto the bomb train, though, as Jerry... Oh, he's been taken down. This could get messy still. HE going out, and a Molotov to keep the AWPer at bay. Sobol has committed to the plant now and can be a part of these gunfights. He's taken down Extra Power, and there's a big flank coming through from Goofy at the moment. Flitz turned around at the right point in time, however, and it's all about timing now. The time ticking down on that bomb, but Flitz spots out Goofy. He takes the kill at long range, and Face Crack on full HP is going to drop down off the train and head towards the bomb. Goes for the stick, and Goofy, he thinks it is being stuck right now, but he swung out too late and can't find the feet. FORZE steal their first round away, but they very nearly could have lost that one.
I will have to take you at your word for it, because I kind of had to restart. My audio was problematic right there, but it does seem like a nice one round from... Actually, not nice one round from FORZE. It was 5 versus 2. It should never have been that close to end into a 1v1. They take a lot of economic damage in that one. But a nice one for PACT right now. They still have enough for another buy if they would win this. FORZE do have a pretty hefty buy on their side still, nonetheless. And that nade is not going to do as much to Jerry, because of course he didn't expect to be Jerry Wright to be beneath him. But this is a dangerous angle to peek. Nice nade up top. Sobol, also a nade from outside coming through, almost takes Sobol down. 21 HP left, and that is a nice combo nade from FORZE.
Jerry staying aggressive. He really wants to keep control of this. Puts a smoke down on the back Molotov. And PACT, they've just spent a minute trying to take Pop Dog control and been unsuccessful. Flit and Almaza are in the B-bomb site with M4s and AUGs to help defend. And it looks like this is the site that PACT are going to attack. Maniz, he has sight lines, but not quite going to be able to exploit those by the looks of things. Jerry is waiting for his time to come up Pop Dog as well, and the issue is time for PACT at this point. They're running out of it for an execution. Almaza's not looking at the smoke as the flash comes through. He looks away at the wrong time, and that lets Sobol get the first kill of the round. Flick can get one back onto Maniz at bare minimum and could still be a nuisance and take down the planter right now. He's pushing up through the smoke. That's Lunatic taken down, and Darko as well. Flick, huge play from him, and he's picked up an AWP. Exapower finds Goofy, and nobody knows about Flit on the sneaky M4A1S. He may have just saved this round, and perhaps the CT side economy for his team. No time left, so he has to commit to the plant. Flit walks straight in and lands that shot. What a massive play from him.
Yeah, he gets himself 4 kills in that round. Pretty much solos the PACT squad right there, and just the fact that he gets the first kill, someone should know that he is towards gray train right there and should call that a player might go for the push flank behind them, but they have absolutely no idea that that's going on. It looked like it was going to be a disaster for FORZE, but luckily Flit for them was able to turn that one in their favor. And now 2 rounds for FORZE. Might this be a start of a big streak? Flit gets the opening kill onto Darko as well, and he is definitely not sleeping just yet. As I say that, he almost gets taken out by Lunatic because he misses the op shot. Goofy close range, waiting for someone to peek in, but he's now down to 60 HP.
Ooh.
Blindly gets the headshot onto Jerry, and it gets traded out evenly. However, the damage on Flit is pretty massive. Luckily enough, it is the opper, so it doesn't matter too much just yet.
Almost holding down the B side of the map, and Maniz waiting for aggression. He expects it to come through from the high ground, but Nexapower is getting mobile, but not to go quite so far forward as Maniz would like. The bomb is on his back in T-Con at the moment with 55 seconds left on the clock. Rotations are slowly heading into B, but it's just going to be passively through connector so that FaceCrack can get to A quickly if he wants to. He's going to go slightly deeper than he otherwise would, and Flit is paranoid about a potential execution through Ivy. That means Exapower has to land an early shot here. Finds Goofy on the way in, looking for some more. There goes Lunatic as well. No utility to blind Exapower other than the flashes, but they don't really hit the mark, and that double kill could be enough to hold on to the round. It is, as Flit and FaceCrack support him. The FORZE side can go up onto 3 rounds. Actina Pack now have to take an eco, and FORZE appear to be coming back into things here on train.
Yeah, slowly but surely, FORZE managed to get themselves into the game. It pretty much comes down to Flit getting some massive rounds for his team done. 11 kills already in this. I mean, I've seen pretty much Flit has been rather passive today, and this is the perfect moment to start waking up at 1:30 a.m. For me, for them, it's probably 2:30 a.m. We see Jerry towards Pop Dog, might get aggressive quickly with the rotation. Ecstasy Power misses the shot there, and with that, they're going to try and rush down, but the molly thrown down by Almazar is going to be enough to most likely secure the bomb defense. It is going to be exactly that. 5 players alive on FORZE. No damage dealt whatsoever onto this squad, and we're going to see PACT call the timeout, something that not a lot of teams have done that much today, except for PACT. In the previous map as well, they start losing a couple of rounds, immediately call the timeout, where they want to try and decide what game plan they're going to stick with.
And that's pretty interesting, actually. The FORZE B side of Inferno, they lose every single round, and I don't remember a timeout being called by them at any point either. They're performing much more competitively on the CT side of Train, but it was the T side of Inferno that was their issue, and that's a much harder half to try and pull off on this map than it is on the previous. We do slightly seem to favour the T side on FORZE, at least in terms of their past success percentages, and PACT have started to slow down a bit. They've just been picked off very early on by these AWPs, and they don't really seem to have an answer to it. Exapower or Flit is always finding the early one. Maniz is in serious trouble in T-Con, needs riflers to bail him out, so he will be able to escape at least, but it's FORZE with the early kill again. Sobol in that smoke is a bit aggressive here in Pop Dog. Exapower's taken down his teammate, and the fragging is just consistently with the FORZE side at the opening of these rounds. Sobol gets one back and looks to deploy a smoke to defend himself, but FaceCrack's pushed up aggressive, and that flash actually does not do Sobol any favors. FORZE probably have done enough to convert their 5th here, and PACT are looking at an eco in the next one.
Yeah, FORZE randomly started turning rounds in their favor, though it is of course still not over. If they could get the quick duels going on towards the A site, if you take both those CT defenders down, you do have a 2 versus 2 situation coming out. Darko gets the opening pick there onto Flit. That means Ivy is open, and look at that. That gives Goofy a chance to push through Ivy. There is no defender in Ivy / Old Bomb all of a sudden, and this is absolutely perfect. Possibly, yep, Goofy gets the catch onto Ecstasy Power, and now it is FaceCrack towards Connector, who has to go big. Almazar is going to go for the flank play. 12 seconds, they need to get the bomb plant in. Molly to flush out Connector, and the only one that really could get anything done right now would be the Pop player. Darko does get flanked right now by Almazar, who is looking for the second. Oh my god!
Oh,
that scope just went deeper than the face.
Oh, wow. The timing. Almaza might have just punched through his screen. I've never seen timing like that. Darko, oh my word. He turns around at the right time. Almaza, too much trigger discipline. And it's a 6th round for PACT. Oh, dearie me. The cash is still there for a buy from FORZE, but that is a horrible one to lose.
Honestly, I really want to see it from the Opera's perspective so bad. Like, that is what I'm just most interested in. How did the Opera just notice that? I think it was Sobol. How did he just, like, big face right in the middle of his scope and then, oh, crap. But they managed to turn that one in their favor. Goofy gets the opening kill onto Ecstasy Power. The op is going to get attempted to be recovered by Flit. And with that, Molly's going to force him back. But again, that last round was a 2-on-4. Another 2 players staying alive and just big plays coming out. Flit, however, gets rid of Maniz with the quick peek down hell. That is going to be evening out the score. 4 versus 4. Utility on PACT has started to run out a little bit. But look at that towards Ivy. Another peek coming out from Flit, getting himself the catch. The smoke coming out towards Ivy to make sure that Flit doesn't get the push forward, but he is going to get aggressive nonetheless. Facecrack gets the catch onto Darko, and it does seem that PACT are going to get shut down. Peek out wide, and Flit with a big 3K after picking up Ecstasy Powers. Op takes that one away from PACT.
I mean, Flit has been so impactful so far for FORZE here on Train. That's 2 rounds at bare minimum that he's carried on his back now and contributed to the FORZE CT scoreline. PACT, they go for a force up into this one with an AK, a Galil, and some Mac 10s rather than going for the save. They're going to try and go quickly to overwhelm their opponents. They don't really go for many rushes on their T side, so it could catch Almaza off guard. He goes in first, and Goofy can take him down on the SMG. Orps arrived now, though, and that's Goofy falling. The Molotov a bit too deep, but they do eventually have to deploy the smoke to get rid of it as the spread comes through. A man disadvantage, and Darko's pushed very far forward. That's a kill found at aggressive range, but Jerry is looking to push around. This flank from Maniz is massive, though, as Darko does find Jerry. Flit on 55 can take Maniz down in a 1-on-2 scenario. Has info on the positioning of Lunatic off the back of that smoke, and he has the element of surprise on his side, but he walks through it and Lunatic can see it. A 7th round on the T side secured for PACT now, and the economy of FORZE broken in the late stages of the first half.
That was a nicely called straight up rush, with the flank from Maniz doing a gigantic amount of work there. I mean, PACT, they just have honestly, they're looking a lot better on their T side than FORZE have all day. Strats of FORZE have been very one-dimensional, whereas PACT have gone from multiple different executes. And another straight up rush, this time towards the A side, where they are all grouped up on the CT side. The Deagle from Jerry is going to get 1 kill, looking for more, but he's...
Ooh.
How does he manage to get back?
Oh!
Triple kill for Jerry. Still has an AK in his hand. Sobol tries to flush him out, but that Molly is going to take him down. And trying to take the bomb to the B bomb site. Not thinking, oh, they might possibly have another player somewhere. And dropping the bomb in favor of FORZE. Flit is just going to be playing the sneaky game, trying to catch out Sobel, but Sobel went all the way towards Brown Holes, where he's going to head up in upper and see if he can get closer to that bomb somehow.
The idea from him is he wants to steal the bomb away out of connector and then run back into B, I believe. But Flit is going for the push into Pop Dog at the moment and the long flank himself. That's just a lapse of concentration all round for PACT. They expect it to be an easy round, so they just send the bomb on its own out connector with no actual information on Flit's positioning. I mean, even though it was going quickly towards B, that bomb should have had a gun out on that player rather than a knife. There's plenty of time to be working with, and it's just a minor oversight really for the FORZE squad. PACT now needs Sobol to rush into the B-bomb site and secure a plant. He will be able to get it down at bare minimum, as Flit should know that this is on B. He doesn't get the sound cue over on the A side of the map, but he does have a smoke to work with. No body armor means he needs the element of surprise to utilize. He suspects that Sobol could be in Pop Dog early on, but now Sobol's holding the right angle, turns around in time, and just about gets up the stairs far enough that he doesn't get spotted by Flit. Now Flit has time to contend with. That's the real problem. Bomb actually planted for Flit though, with Sobol's positioning here. That means he doesn't expect it, and that smoke does create space for the Ninja, but Flit has not stuck it. He doesn't have a kit, and he doesn't have the kill either. Sobol finds the headshot, and PACT go up on to 8. They convert the easy round eventually, and as we look into the second half, last of the half, their cash is going to be slightly more stretched than it otherwise would have been.
Yeah, this should never, I mean, this one where he picks up the AK and then still managed to get the kill and with 1 HP. Oh, that is just disastrous for PACT and their money situation. This is, if they lose this one, they won't have it. Both teams. The loser of this round will most likely lose the last round as well. So it could be 8-7, but it could also be 10-5. Both in favor of PACT still nonetheless. So on their T side, not too shabby, not too bad. At least winning the T side is already a big plus in their favor. And we have seen FORZE absolutely just get crushed on their T side earlier. Goofy gets the opening kill, but Jerry on site will chime in for one in return. However, it's big trades coming out all over the place. Bomb is not down just yet. Meniz is going to whiff an op shot, it seems, and it is going to be Goofy planting the bomb. Close range smoke and the flash so that he can get himself off the angle, possibly. They'll spot out one player, but does not know where the other one is. And that is where his worries lie.
They have to push him, and he knows that smoke's not going to last forever. Those are the two facts that he's contending with. Looking for the rifler on the high ground. He just needs to stay alive. Keeps peeking either side. There's no kit available again for FORZE on this push, but FaceCrack has found the shot this time. Do they have time to commit to this? Exapower is going to stick, and this is going to be a rather close one. I think he should have it though, even without the kit here, and it should be the round going towards FORZE. They pick up their 6th, and PACT are going to have a tough buy to work with to try and find 9.
Rounds are getting way too close for comfort. Every single possible time we see it just come down to the wire. These two teams are very competitive at the moment, but this time it is going to be FORZE edging away of that one. It is PACT buying up for the last one, of course, because it is the last round of the half. They had a bomb plant, so the buy is absolutely garbage. But let's see if they can make garbage into gold with their play style. It is going to be a quick, aggressive A push, it seems, where we do have the CZ of Meniz getting 1 kill. It is a 2-for-2 trade so far. The Deagle of Sobol trying to get rid of the XC powers up. Nice flick, and the bomb has been dropped on site, but Lunatic, can he get anything done? Goofy with the MAC-10 gets himself a kill. Is running all the way towards Connector and might be fast enough on the flank to surprise them, but I think they have an inkling that something's up.
They seem to be aware of this Connector presence. Goofy comes out. The Molotov, that's a little bit messy. Too messy for the MAC-10 to work with. And it's an 8-7 half, which favors PACT either way on the T side there. They head into their stronger CT half now, and it's FORZE who have some real work ahead of them on the T side of this map. PACT trying to shut it down 2-0, and really without Flit, FORZE would be in serious trouble in the series. 19 kills in the first half for him. That would have been a much more dominant one from PACT had he not been going so huge. The odds do favor PACT in this one from our partners over at LootBet, and FORZE, they're really going to need this T-side pistol.
I would agree with these odds. I think I would even give PACT a little bit more credit here just because of them being on the CT side and me not having that much faith in the FORZE T side, all things considered. But we'll have Chappie coming in onto Lunatic, but they are 3-man stacking towards the B bomb site at the moment. And it does seem to be an A execute so far. The bomb has not been committed anywhere just yet, and they only are keeping Lunatic towards that B, towards that A site in Ivy at the moment. Are they gonna execute towards A? Because this might be a fake, all things considered, but it does seem that they're gonna go for the execute there and rush on towards A. The rotations are coming out a little bit late to the party. Goofy peeks out wide from Connect and needs to get the taps in, because the closer they get, the harder it is going to be for the CTs. The shots are all being whiffed on this PACT side, and it's all on Darko to try and clutch it out. It does seem that we're going to get an 8-8 tied scoreline coming through.
And that should be some T-side momentum being built up by FORZE as well. If they can keep PACT's economy under pressure, that's how they'll win this map. You've got to win the money game. That's all Train is about, keeping utility out of the hands of the CTs. If you can do that, you can have a much easier job throughout the map. Darko can get 1 at bare minimum, but the rest of his team couldn't find any kills, so he's not going to be able to take victory in this round. There's not enough time remaining, even if he was to find all the heads here. Jerry takes him down, and it is 8 apiece at the start of the second half. PACT are going to be forcing up into things. Deagle's out with 2 scouts on the board, 3 in fact, or rather 1 dropped over to Miniz. We know how deadly they can be. FORZE showed us exactly that, and PACT are going to be hoping they can steal this round away.
Yeah, they are going to pick up the double scout. Miniz still keeping $1,000 left for that op, of course, but still having the scout for the long range taps on the possible heads. Nades come raining through. It's not going to connect on anything, but he does get a tag towards Ivy. Nade to try and zone them out as well. And it's a 5-man stack now from the PACT squad towards A. Utility is running low at the moment. Just Darko going mad with the Deagle, but Miniz chimes in as well. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 trade. However, XC Power gets himself a catch on top of it all, and it's all on Sobol. Great flick to drop the bomb there, but it is not going to be enough to win them the round. And with that, we're going to look at an eco for PACT, so it should be 10-8 before the full gun round comes in.
Miniz has $4,000, so there is going to be an AWP in the gun round coming out for PACT. It just won't be in number 18. Should be double digits earned early by FORZE, and this T side already much better than their T side was on Inferno. And the fact that they're already more competitive on Train, it makes you wonder, why on earth didn't they take a timeout on their best map in the pool when their T side was going horrendously wrong? They could have recovered, perhaps. Darko goes in Pop Dog with a Zeus, but he does not get lucky with it. I've seen so many Zeus attempts so far in Malta Vibes, and sadly, none of them have worked.
Yeah, I never see them work anymore. Did they nerf that thing or something? I never see a Zeus kill happen.
I don't think any nerfs have come through. I just think teams are just too mobile for them in the current metas, when you only ever see Zeus's get picked up in eco rounds, and a lot of the time it's just Mach 10 sprinting around corners and things like that, so they're quite hard to hit. Double digits for FORZE, and they're going for the bonus round, bringing 3 SMGs into this one. No messing around from the pack buy though, or for Miniz, and 3 or 4 M4s to support it. It's going to be a quick B hit by the looks of things from the FORZE side. This Molotov has to go down from Sobol, and he's got 2 early kills. That is important impact to find, and it pretty much shuts down the strat from FORZE immediately.
Yeah, great hold from Sobol, and they're kind of trying to find anything on the map right now, because of course they aggressively went for that B push, but it got shut down immediately, so they have no map control, and they need to be careful that there's no flank or push coming in from the CT side in return. And it's pretty much just a waiting game at the moment. They still do have the bomb control though, so that's a big plus. But the utility game is also pretty much gone on FORZE. They have 1 smoke, 2 flashes, and an HE grenade, and that is all they can use. Darko gets the kill onto Flit, but because Darko did shut down 1 player, that gives away his position. and is going to cost him his life. Nice nade plus a kill onto Lunatic. Almazar is rushing towards that B bomb side. Didn't even pick up the bomb right there and is just jumped into suicide away. It is going to be PACT taking that round away from FORZE and keeping 4 players alive on top of it. So that is a nice way to keep your economy going. FORZE, at least they managed to successfully get more rounds on this T side than on their Inferno T side. So at least they beat their score in that. But let's see if they can win one of these gun rounds. That is going to be crucial for them.
Their economy is fairly well managed off the back of the early SMG kills that they found. Sobol goes for some early B-Hall's aggression and is just going to settle for spotting a player. Doesn't want to swing any further around that corner because it's a likely death sentence for him if he does it. FORZE keeping things slower at the start of this round. Good HE down Ivy, and actually players spotted out by Maniz. It looks like they're going to go for the boost up, but Maniz is waiting for it. Exapar taken down at the start of the round. Man advantage gained by PACT, and that smoke from Goofy trying to bait FORZE into jumping down the ladder, thinking someone's up close. Almazar finds Maniz back actually with that AWP, swings it back into a 4-on-4, and Goofy now, he needs to not overextend here to try and find the kill back. They are waiting for his aggression. Jerry looking to peek into him at the moment, but he does get taken down. That's the man advantage back for PACT, and Lunatic taking down Flit in T-Con pretty much ends the round for FORZE now. They still need to pick up the bomb and hit a site, but FaceCrack's just flashed himself in Pop Dog. Almazar has an AWP in hand. It's still a difficult 2-on-4 to try and pull off though.
He does spot a player on top of green, but immediately that player just dives off because he sees a big orange gun aiming in his direction and is terrified of it. The money situation on FORZE is not that great. They have pretty much no time to plant the bomb, so the only thing that they should be able to do is save their weapons. And that only happens if PACT are not going to try and brute force their way in to try and drop that op from Almazar. Should still... That op is going to get dropped, and it's all on FaceCrack saving his AK into the next round, which they'll probably force up behind it because it is FORZE. And he would have to, well, actually, probably wouldn't even have to double eco there if they bought a couple of deagles and upgraded armor. This would be a perfect time for FORZE to take a timeout to discuss what their plan is going to be. Are they going to do it? Of course they're not. They're just going to force up.
AKs and scouts coming out with Almazar dropping down to the D. PACT, this is their chance now to take control of this map in the later stages. Maniz looking to get aggressive with this AWP. Flit now in danger if he decides to swing out again, but Maniz now needs that protection from Pop Dog. If he loses Goofy on the angle, he is totally exposed. But this aggressive positioning from PACT is countered one way from FORZE, and that is with Ivy control. They've got just that, sending 3 players down. As Maniz turns to watch it with his AWP from long range, he has to find a shot here onto Exapower. That's the head found on the pixel angle. Can't quite get Jerry as the second, but they don't really want to use utility to blind him and let the second player out there. By the looks of things, he is actually going to get timinged a little bit off the angle, but Jerry does fall to Sobol, and this scout will be cleared away by Maniz as well. Flit aggressively does find Darko, but it's still a double man advantage. That nade only deals minor damage to Flit, and FORZE, they're fighting from behind yet again.
The PACT have absolutely superior setups on their defense right now. FORZE, Flit the last man standing, tagged down to 44 HP, is going to get op down by Maniz as well, who on the CT side of Train does look a lot better than he has on most other sides. I mean, he was pretty good in the Inferno, all things considered. But this is going to look like FORZE are forced to eco. Of course, buying a couple of Tech 9s, upgraded pistols is all they can afford. And it should be 12 to 10 for PACT. And I mean, once they finally got themselves the weapons and the utility on the side of PACT, they definitely have been looking way better than FORZE on their CT side.
I 100% agree with you on that one. And really, FORZE They're going to try and steal a round away here with a quick explosion out on the B bomb site. There are 3 players waiting for it, though. That means the Deagles have to go mental at long range. Jerry swallows a HE grenade straight to the face and is now so paranoid about another one coming through on the same angle. I don't think there's quite one available in this bomb site, though, to be deployed. But Goofy does have a Molotov he can throw down wherever he would like. Sobol, the first point of contact, spots out ahead, is struggling to connect shots at the moment, though. The Deagles will rip you off at that angle, and Jerry finds it with a Tech 9. Goofy can get him down in the end, though, as the drop into the site comes through. Lunatic is baited into pushing forward, and he might be able to get extra power down at close range. Almaza finds one from the upper angle, but that bomb is already being tapped, and Maniz has found the shot in the upper lines. A couple of kills found and a bomb plant. It is not terrible from FORZE in the full eco, but they do need to win this upcoming gun round.
It is going to be a 12-10 score as expected. 2 players killed and the bomb plant not too bad. Ecstasy power on that op needs to make it work, though. As you said previously, Flit, without him they would not have had that many rounds, and it does seem that he has continued to try and string more together, but you cannot carry an entire team on your back, whereas PACT have been pretty much spreading out those kills. Evenly, they rush down Pop Dog. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but there's info gained. Goofy's completely blinded, though, and a 1-man advantage right now for FORZE. Molly does give away vision. Bombers drops towards White Box, and now it's going to be a 3-on-3 Lunatic on site. Might get spotted by Ecstasy Power. Needs to be very careful on his angle. Will fall back. Maniz actually gets the catch onto Jerry through the smoke. Sobol, there is Flit on site, peeking wide, but he peeks into 2 CT players, and it's all on Ecstasy Power with his op. Will have to contest with Maniz towards Ivy, or Sobol towards Connect, who is actually rotating away from that A site. And Ecstasy Power needs to be careful, is checking out old Bomb, but he has absolutely no idea where these Actina PACT players are, and that smoke is going to give away his positioning. He's going to plant the bomb, is expecting a player towards IV, but is going to fall back. Does not expect anyone Pop Dog, and is kind of lucky in the fact that no one actually is in Pop Dog.
They have a smoke on the CT side. That's a real problem for him holding this angle, because they can literally just smoke off the doorway, and he's totally countered by that now. They've tapped the bomb, so he needs to land a pixel perfect shot there, but Sobol finds him through the smoke instead. He pushes forward and takes that kill. 13-10 up now for PACT, and FORZE starting to struggle on their T side.
Yeah. Yeah. They did get the bomb plant in, though, but so that will give them weapons and utility. And Actina PACT, they still have more than enough money for another buy into the next round, and possibly one after that. It would be a little bit close. Of course, CTs cost a lot more. And nades coming through. Flit getting taken down by Maniz. That is the top fragger of FORZE down in the dumpster. Op is going to peek in. They went for the jump peek so that the opera could get the free shot in, but luckily enough, Maniz did pull away from that angle just in time, and it is absolutely danger zone moments coming through right now. This is deadly. It is going to be Maniz getting the catch onto Almazar. Ecstasy Power getting aggressive with the op, trying to get anything done. Jerry gets the kill onto Lunatic. Oh, 2-for-2 trade coming out. Darko will be on top of the train, tossing his molly to try and zone him out. Jerry swapping with Ecstasy Power, picking up the op right now. And where are the last couple of plays? Ecstasy Power does spot a player on top of green, though. Jerry just jiggle peeking the entire time. Bomb is still in T main. They have Sobol on that B site right now because he is afraid of face crack to flank around, but it does seem that they are going to push that A site at the moment. Actina PACT are completely letting go of their A site defense. Are going to have to play the retake game sooner enough. Ooh. Ecstasy Power does get spotted out there on site, and that means Darko is going to pull back in towards the site. Bomb is going to get planted. Molly tossed down. They're going to try and go for the boost. Darko gets himself the pick that they need. They know that there's a player in Pop Dog, probably, but where is Jerry with the op? 12 HP to his name. And yeah, they definitely know that there's one in Pop Dog right now. They smoked it off, waiting for him to peek out wide. Same with the opper. Jerry gets a quick kill catch onto Darko.
Oh,
and they are just completely not ready on PACT. They managed to clutch that one out on FORZE, but that one with the positioning advantage and the angles they were holding should have definitely been a win for PACT in all things considered.
That was a very stinky whiff from PACT. They knew FaceCrack was in Pop Dog because Darko actually saw him when he initially strafed out into the bomb train and found the opening kill. So it was just the AWPer that they didn't know the positioning of. And as soon as he swung out for a kill, you see it just confused PACT completely. They had no idea what to do. And the whiffed spray downs allowed FORZE room to maneuver. 13-11 is definitely a scoreline that your opponents can work with on the T side of train if you allow them another victory and break your own economy. Strafing round, Maniz finds the opening kill, holding the angle. Almaza picking up that AWP, but the last time Maniz repeaked, he was taken down by the recovered sniper, so I don't think he's going to be going for the re-aggression this time. And FORZE, it looks like they're adjusting to the back of B at the moment.
It is a pretty... I mean, Ecstasy Power has been losing pretty much all the duels against Maniz in a row right now. Whereas Almazar with the op has been actually winning them against Maniz, surprisingly enough. Even towards that Ivy, I remember the boost and then the recovery shot coming through. It mainly comes down to Almazar getting big and Flit as well on towards the B side. He's trying to play that flank. Did the exact same on Inferno. See if he can find himself an opener somewhere. And it is going to be that B push. But this angle, this is always a super dangerous angle because normally you will get yourselves a kill. Flit pushing out upper. That intel should have been gifted away by Lunatic, though. Will get himself a kill, but there's no one onto the site, and that means they can call the rotations back. Goofy is playing close towards White Box, but he does not expect Jerry to peek out wide, and it is going to be Almazar distracting Darko, and all of a sudden, I mean, this, again, a round where it just looks like it should not happen, is going to be a win for FORZE, and Actina PACT now have to go on to the eco because they are out of a moolah.
When I talk about the chess match that is the in-game leadership of the T side of train, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just make moves all over the map, get the CTs rotating and confused, and then take advantage of those gunfights. PACT, I don't know what has gone wrong on their CT side, but it's very messy all of a sudden, just super chaotic, and they're not really able to take control of the gunfights now. It's going to be 13-13 off the back of this eco, and FORZE are starting to build momentum late on in train. PACT have left the door open, and FORZE have stuck their foot in. This eco doesn't look like it's going to yield any kills for the PACT side, and FORZE are quickly up onto the tied scoreline now.
And with their money as well, they should be fine for 2 buys. Nah, 1 buy probably if they would lose this one. And that is almost every last round in this map. They kind of are cutting it pretty close here on Actina PACT, giving FORZE an entry into the game, but they need to shut them down now. Of course, multiple rounds where they got the opener, they did not get to convert it into a win on their side. But will they be able to hold it off this time? Goofy getting aggressive towards Pop Dog again. And a 4-man stack towards the A site with from the CTs with 1 B defender in Sobel right now. This is going to be a dry peak walking forward, and that is going to put Sobel in a very precarious situation. We'll probably not expect them that close. FaceCrack gets the opening kill, the flash. Oh my god, Sobel goes massive. What the? That flash blinded them completely, and the hero play from PACT. Oh my god!
Oh, look at that flashbang. Lunatic, you beauty. You absolute beauty. High fives all round there. That flash saves the round for PACT, and they can dominate that with one man alone. Holds down left click and clears away the 4 attackers in the B bomb site. The Molotovs keep FORZE at bay in this round, and Moniz has taken down Exapower at the start of things. AWP recovered by Flit, and he's nearly on a 30 bomb at the moment, so wouldn't want to be peeking into his crosshairs. But this time PACT have the man advantage again. Moniz not quite able to convert, so it stays in a 5-on-4.
It is, they manage to get the man advantage every single time, and this time Moniz just walking forward into the enemy crosshairs. Big tag coming through, but it is the man advantage now coming in for 2-man advantage, and it's all on Lunatic, who has to try and clutch this one out. Spots out the Opper, but Flit already has a kill. Gets another tagging because Lunatic doesn't even move away from his angle. Gets shut down pretty easily, and we're 14-14. This is looking so much like OT right now.
That was really bad from PACT. They got so cocky in that round. Moniz, why is he taking peak after peak in T-Con? The strategy, boys, is find the first kill and then turtle up in the bomb site. Await further instructions and await attack. Now they forced into round number 29. And that could be the map given away to FORZE off the back of that last mistake. PACT, they may have just given it all away. If they can't hold on to this one, these guns aren't good enough. I don't know who decided to force up into this round, but they may have just given it away to FORZE.
Luckily, Lunatic manages to get a kill, but of course he is in a very problematic situation. Everyone is as well. Sobol goes towards heaven, gets shut down, and you might be right with the money situation on PACT. This might not even hit OT. This might just be FORZE taking the second map, the PACT map pick, especially with the positioning that PACT were standing, and the immense amount of mistakes they have made in the past rounds. This could have been over by, 5 rounds ago, but PACT just kept throwing round after round after round, every single time, getting the opening advantage, and then immediately continuing to keep on getting aggressive constantly. Flit's gonna get taken down. That is the opening kill coming through. Deagle close range. Goofy is going pretty big there. They have a 2-man advantage. Maybe the OT is coming through off of the back of their utility, and Goofy with another one. Mini stacks. What is this game? We're going to OT on train. What is this series? It is absolutely ridiculous.
See, PACT, if you sit back in the bomb site and then you wait for FORZE to walk into the utility, it's really easy, actually. It's how the CT side of train is supposed to be played. Rather than PACT deciding they can just close the match early by continually pushing forward and looking for opening frags, they forced overtime at least. That is a huge sigh of relief, but they need some serious changes. I'd even call a timeout at this point from PACT just to calm everyone down and get everyone to start playing more passively, because you've thrown your CT side away and the early win in this map away as well by continued over aggression on the CT side.
Well, maybe that last round might be a wake-up call for them to give them the possibility of just getting back that control. Op shot is going to whiff from Moniz. That does give away the pretty much the only opper from PACT's side, because I don't think anyone plays the secondary op on that team, or at least I have not seen it just yet. It will be Moniz getting taken down by Jerry. Goofy playing the exact same angle that he just went pretty big with, but it's not going to pay off this time, and it is a 3-man advantage all of a sudden for FORZE. B bomb site is clear as well. And they're just running around on PACT trying to find kills. I mean, they're just not They have a really good passive play, but their aggressive play gets a little bit dangerous.
Well, according to Liquipedia, Lunatic is the IGL of this PACT squad, and I know it's literally his username, but he doesn't need to be going for these mental calls on the CT side. Why are they so aggressive all of the time? It feels as though PACT are peeking into the T's at the first opportunity and then losing these gunfights. After they did so well on their CT side to get 13 to 10 up, I believe it was, at bare minimum, they had a very clear opportunity to close this one out, but they've continued their aggression on the T side, and it's being read by FORZE consistently now. They're winning gunfights. The issue that PACT are having is they find an opening kill, so then they feel that they can overextend and convert that into a double kill and really confirm the round, but then they lose the first kill and they try and overextend to get one back. This time they sit back in the site and the kills literally are gifted to them, but Goofy far forward is taken down by Flit. It's pretty difficult to explain in any more simpler terms. Sit back and you get kills, stand forward and you get killed.
XC Power just holds the angle towards Ivy, and that is going to be a 3 versus 3 situation where all 3 players of FORZE are in Ivy right now. Lunatic has picked up the big green stick as well. Darko playing off angles, but the first player baits out his bullets, and Sobol, they're just not getting anything done. All of a sudden, PACT, they just lost. I mean, they must... Their mouses are broken or something. It's... I don't... As you said, the white box, yes, that amazing play with the Deagle worked at the white box previous round. That's because you constantly went for the jiggle peaks and got your team into OT. Great job. But going for the exact same spot every single time afterwards does not help your team because, well, guess what? What is the first area that they're going to check every single time? And they have won the duels from that area the last couple of times as well. That is the white box area. Goofy just, you know, goofing it up. And with that, it is FORZE 2 rounds ahead on the T side of overtime. Not too great for PACT right now.
Really not. And they sit and wait this time. They haven't lost the early frags, but they really do need to stand still. It always feels like these PACT players are moving when the gunfights happen. They're always getting caught moving around to some location, and Maniz, he gets caught off guard doing just that in this round. Jerry strafing out from Electric Box. He gets tagged down onto Lunatic. Goofy finds one back on Flip, but Jerry just cleans him away. The aim, really, it feels like, for PACT, it's just gone to sleep. They've stopped being able to frag against these FORZE players at the absolute wrong time. It's a clean sweep for FORZE on the T side, and they are 1 round away from taking us to Dust 2.
Yeah, they went for a different strat this time. This time they put the AWPer towards white box because that seems to be a better idea. Oh, well, it does seem very likely that we're going to be hitting Dust 2 sooner rather than later with PACT's performance coming through. Of course, the scoreboard is a flip turned a little bit around right now because it is FORZE on 18 and not Actina PACT, and FORZE are also on the T side. Sorry, Actina PACT are on the T side, FORZE are on the CT side. With Maniz getting the opening kill onto Flit, though, is a pretty big one indeed. Close range Darko right next to Face Crack. Ooh, wow, what a shot from Face Crack. That should have been probably the round secured, but now XC Power gets himself a second. Now XC Power gets aggressive, but the second for the FORZE lineup, and man advantage all of a sudden. Actina PACT trying to regroup and probably hit that B-bomb site.
Man advantage for FORZE on the defense, and Exapart, he's in the perfect position to find 1 kill. That's all he really needs to do with this AWP. Find 1 kill and stay alive. That Molotov Going to slow the execution and actually cause this Goofy to nearly burn alive. He's on just 5 HP, but still peeking forward. He's taken Extra Power down to 10. And keeps moving up, but Jerry is ready for him and can clean him away. Finds the second one as well, and Maniz left in a 1-on-4 with this AWP. His position now known, jumps down onto the site, still has a bomb to recover, and everyone just going to take it in turns firing at him. Exapower finds the shot, and FORZE win the map 19-15. They have forced us on to a third, ladies and gentlemen. Dust 2 on the way after this quick break.
Nice shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. It has quite literally gone the distance, and we're here on our third and final map of our third and final series, PACT versus FORZE. One of these teams is making it to the playoffs, and one of them is going to be eliminated, no matter how much they want to drag it on. And it should be another pretty close battle here on Dust 2 as the decider as well. Fairly good stats for either side on this map. My name is Protalis, and talking you through the final one with me is DK Truman. What are your thoughts ahead of this one?
I honestly do not know at all between these two teams. It is, of course, a T-sided map. And their T-sides have actually been looking, well, at least for one team, their T-side has been looking a little bit better. Still don't have that much faith in the FORZE T-side of things. But PACT, for instance, has taken down a level up today 16-1 on Dust 2. So that definitely does bode well for them. And yeah, definitely feeling that PACT can still take this series away from FORZE, but of course not if they go for that aggressive, the full CT aggression that we saw in the last game, where it just did not pay off at the end. Especially, they just couldn't keep the game together. They had such a big opportunity to finish it 2-0, but they want to take it back in their favor in the third map, Dust 2, of course.
And it is really heartbreaking for PACT, actually. They pull off the miraculous victory on Inferno, 16-8, dominate their opponent's map pick, and then are in a firm position to be able to close things out on Train. And then, as so many teams seem to do in these events, they start choking at the important stages of the game and let their opponents right back into things. Now, we are, of course, heading to Dust 2, and this one should be an all-out brawl. Whilst FORZE lost in very narrow fashion to the Gambit youngsters on Dust 2 earlier on in the day, PACT 16-1 level up on this map. An incredibly dominant performance from them, and they're going to be hoping they can carry some of that momentum forward into their last map of the day.
And with that, we are going live into the knife round right now to see who's going to start up with that T side, which is, of course, the slightly favored side on this map. Someone wants to seem to sit in the chair and watch the show right from up high. It is going to be that very important knife round to boot. Of course, I am expecting this game to kind of get close again, to possibly go the distance, but we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the case. But it does look like FORZE is going to be starting on that coveted T side with, PACT on the T side with FORZE on the CT side.
It's really interesting in my mind in terms of predictions for this map. I would favor PACT, but I mean, they just shut down totally at the end of Train there. Maybe one of the last 8 rounds of that map, and the odds from our partners over at LootBet are favoring FORZE here. I think I have to agree with that one. The way they came back into Train, I was seriously unimpressed with PACT's CT side towards the end of things, and they're going to need to perform in a pretty big way here on Dust 2 if they want to change my mind and believe that they can take things in the last map.
Disgusting. Split took off the silencer of his USPS. Disgusting. You don't do that. You don't. But it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Walking forward, XTC Power and Jerry both get taken down. It is now a 2-on-3 situation. Bomb's going to go down. That just doesn't sound right. That gun completely does not sound right. It is going to be the attempted retake, but Flick gets his head chopped off. Almazar towards Pit will most likely not get anything done because they're just going to wait and hold this angle down. Yeah, the bomb's ticking down. This is round over, and the opening pistol going in favor of PACT.
It certainly is. Almost doing his best to find headshots from the pit, but Goofy eventually takes him down, and that is the pistol round going the way of the Polish squad. FORZE, they normally force up into these second rounds, and it looks like that is exactly what is happening in this one. Scout dropped over to Extra Power, and I always wonder what the point is in upgrading your pistol and buying a smoke if someone's going to drop you a Scout. You could just buy body armor for that cash and still have a decent amount of bank left over at the end. Either way, it is the Glass Cannon Scout supported by the Deagles and co. Mac-10's looking for some bonus cash in this round, and maybe Maniz trying to win a Scout engagement of his own.
This is going to be the opener from Lunatic, traded out by Flit, who manages to secure an AK for his troubles and just runs away. No refrag coming in whatsoever. Big mistakes coming through to start this one off with. But the damage does pretty much look disastrous right there for FORZE, taking a lot of damage on their team. PACT do still have the weapons and armor advantage, but it might be a very costly round. Face Crack getting close towards short. They're gonna re-smoke it though and see if they can find an opening. Spray comes out and Darko just sprays Face Crack down. It is going to be a man advantage coming out. Good flash. Darko catches out Jerry, and that should be the A bomb side gifted away. The last man standing is Almazar with that AK, and he's just trying to save this big gun, of course, but does get spotted out, trying to run away. Gets a couple of tags against him. Will peek out wide, gets rid of Darko, but the flank, I mean, Maniz is going all the way towards T-spawn. Don't really think that he's going to be able to catch Almazar, and don't even know if they're going to hunt for him. Sobel might, because of course he does have a Galil. And could possibly upgrade it, but if they actually had like a Mac-10 or something in their team, they definitely would have sent him to go for the full chase.
(2-0) lead for PACT at the start of Dust 2. Eco upcoming for FORZE, so unless Almazar goes crazy with this AK, it should be the 3-0 coming out from the PACT side. And that is the nice start for them to be finding on the T side of this map. Interestingly enough, in terms of win percentages, they have the edge on the T side of this map, PACT, but in terms of the distribution of their 1 rounds, they've won more in total on the CT side than they have on the T side recently. That indicates to me that they end up starting basically on the CT side of this map a lot and putting out good performances on it. So that could be good news heading into the second half for this PACT side, assuming that they can get through the first one cleanly enough. It was pretty balanced over there on Train at the end of the half, and it was an 8-7 at the end of Inferno as well. This is getting a bit costly in A-Long for PACT now, as they've dropped a couple of Deagles, but they are being ferreted away so that these pistols can't scavenge for them. Face Crack's picked one up though, and that nade could take down Darko. He's just about stayed alive and eventually taken down Jerry as well. Face Crack falls through the door. It nearly gets costly for PACT, but they can get through with 3 alive.
And that is going to cue the buy round coming out from FORZE CT side. XSE Power picking up the op. And that is, will they go for the double op? Almazar could pick up the secondary, but he's going to stick with the M4. And with that, yeah, XSE Power, what is his opping situation going to be? Oh, Flit getting tagged right there through mid. That was a very nice late shot coming out from Maniz. Don't know if he actually spotted him or anything, or that was just a blind shot, but a great amount of damage dealt to Flit to open the round up. And it is going to be Sobel getting the first pick onto Face Crack as well. So the damage coming through so far, they are looking really awake, honestly, with these mouse movements, but XSE Power does get the kill onto Darko. Falls back towards Truck. Will with his shot there, and he's going to try and find the angle on the players pushing towards the A side. Should be the bomb planted rather safely.
Well,
Lunatic catches out Almazar, and Ecstasy Power does manage to chime in for a kill as well, but that bomb site is under PACT control. Peek out wide. Jerry wants to get rid of Sobol behind the boxes, but has no idea where Menezes is. The flash coming out, but the wall bang in. And Menezes did not expect the player to be that close. Is forced off the angle. The molly is down, but Jerry can... Oh, no, it spreads, it spreads, it spreads. That is the round
happen?
one with the molly, and even catches Ecstasy Power in the end.
It's almost like both of these teams have been playing Counter-Strike all day, and now it's the early hours of the morning, and nobody knows what is going on. Menezes saves the round with that utility, and FORZE, that is a huge blunder in the A bomb site. They've basically done all the work on the retake there, and then they just sit in the Molotov and die. Oh, well. Let's put that round in the past and look ahead to the next one. Almaza has a FAMAS. Deagle's out on the rest of the squad as everyone other than Almaza is ecoing at this point in time. Facecrack up close is supported by that FAMAS, but the fire sends them straight back. Facecrack even gets cleaned away by the additional AK damage, and it's another round where PACT starts strong. The B site's completely empty, and Sobol has control of it.
That should put PACT at a 5-0 advantage. I think the previous map they also started reasonably strong as well, so it does not tell a story that it's over for FORZE, but they definitely will need to take that next round in their favor. They are going to pick up that op. Wow, he's actually shooting onto the floor, telling his buddy, hey, be my lapdog right here. Stands on top of him. Yeah. This is just waiting for the round to be over, but it is a quick Actina PACT 5th on the board.
The guns are cleaning them out in the next one. Almaza, Facecrack, and Jerry don't have to invest into armor, assuming they can stay alive, and they'll have upgraded pistols to work with. I see no reason why Almaza would look to upgrade his FAMAS in the next round, so it's going to be everybody else other than him buying up into round number 6. PACT, they have Menezes on about 19 HP, and they don't really want to walk into the death trap that is these long doors just to take away some late round pistols. Sobol does actually manage to find Exapar on that pit boost, so that's one less player saving body armor into the next round. But instead of going for rifles, it is double AWPs coming out of the CT side for FORZE to try and start scoring on their defensive half and avoid any more momentum going the way of PACT.
The double up, the desperation buy, as it is also called, will be picked up. The utility on FORZE is not that great. Towards mid, though, Jerry is getting aggressive. Flit does spot out the out. Okay, that one looked like it should have been a catch, but Jerry luckily does chime in for the double kill, which PACT were completely unaware. I mean, that is pretty much this game, this series at the moment. It is a lot of just unawareness from both sides coming through. Lunatic walks through the smoke. Jerry is still holding the angle, and that is another one for FORZE. Now it's all on Goofy and Sobol to get anything done. Goofy's trying to clear out A long, but with the op and rifle aiming right towards him, it's going to be pretty tough to get the catch. XC Power does spot him out, and the flashes come out to try and get him off the angle. We'll get one kill, and that is going to force XC Power to fall all the way back towards site. So a nice opener, but of course, with the intel they gain, they should be able to rotate and defend this A bomb side most likely. They're trying to boost over the smoke, and Sobol catches out XSE Power, who had absolutely no idea. Flit's gonna peek out wide, will get the shot in and drop the bomb, and it is all on Goofy. 7 HP, will get flanked by Jerry, will get the kill on Jerry. Okay, and needs to be careful that he doesn't 1G himself.
What is happening? What is happening? Please, please, somebody tell me what is going on, Goofy, man. Oh, dearie me. We'll try and forget about that one as well, shall we? That's 2 players that have just walked into Molotovs and killed themselves in this game. Oh, God. PACT, they call the timeout off the back of that one. Time to have a bit of a calm down. Goofy did manage to find quite a few kills at the end of the round, so it was a potential 1vx situation, and it was more costly for the CT side than it perhaps should have been.
Oh. Honestly, this is a great ender to the evening. Oh, an actual 1G right there. Beautiful. But yeah, we're going to see a buy round coming up. Maniz only on 2 kills, does pick the big op again, and it's actually not XSC Power picking the op at the moment just yet. We'll probably have give it away to Almazar so that he can get the early pick coming through. Or he just feels that he's absolutely whiffing every possible shot, because Flit is the one wielding the op towards mid at the moment, and utility being expended on both sides right now. But nothing big coming through. Jerry, of course, looking for the Darko kill, but Darko this time trades that one in his favor, and that is going to be a man advantage coming out from the PACT. But a great nade from XSC Power to get rid of Darko in return. And a molly down below, but it's not going to do too much. A little bit of tag damage to Almazar. However, if they head towards B now, there is a very long rotation from the FORZE side.
That is the potential option for PACT to win this round. They just need to clear Flit out of the B bomb site. He's on the secondary AWP. He can deal a lot of damage if he's looking in the right direction. Sending Sobol out of the tunnels may be enough to distract him for long enough to allow the rest of the rifles in, but there's not very much time left in this round for PACT to work with. If they take it towards B, they're going to have to go pretty soon into Flit's crosshairs, and the flank has already come through from face crack. Flit takes down Goofy. They've crept into the site, but Flit is still finding kills. Sobol takes him down and brings it into a 1-on-3, but that bomb is dropped in mid, and Sobol has just been tagged to half HP, just trying to get onto the bomb site. Recovers an AWP and does not expect the tunnels flank to be so fast. Second round on the board then for FORZE, and PACT probably going to want to take an eco now.
That round, I mean, they get the perfect read. B is very weakly defended. They have mid control. They can go for the mid to B split, but they just stand still and just, you know, they have absolutely no idea what they're trying to do right there. The player towards mid, yeah, the flank was nice from A long, but he should have never been in mid at that moment. He should have already been pushing towards the B side. Shouldn't have been shut down. A bunch of slight mistakes coming out, but you know what is not a mistake? Hellcase.
Use promo codes MaltaV and MaltaV15 to save more and grab what you deserve there with Hellcase. That was MaltaV and MaltaV15. This is really interesting from FORZE. They seem very ready for a B execution at the moment. They have all the info they seem to need and are snacking players towards this side of the map. PACT happy to take it slow for now, and actually are going to start putting players out towards those mid doors. Flit waiting with an AWP for some Pistoliers to peek in. They drop the smokes out actually to cover either side. Both CT and the mid angle from the AWP nade could do big damage, and it does. Lunatic and Maniz very low, but not removed at the moment until Jerry and Flit start firing their weapons. Almazer chimes in for some frags as well, and it is all cleaned up in the B bomb site. FORZE up to 3, and PACT looking to bring out a buy.
There's going to be the next buy coming out. Maniz with the op still not really feeling awake on this T side. Of course, has to face up against 2 CT oppers, so it is rather tough for him to break through. But the money situation on FORZE is looking pretty decent. They will definitely have another buy into the next no matter what. And is going to be some A-long aggression with the utility, but the utility on the T side is rather lackluster at the moment, whereas CT side have a lot. Flit is very aggressive in lower tunnels at the moment. Might get the catch onto a player from PACT right here. Does he? scout someone out. Yes, he does. He doesn't want to miss that shot though, and he's being pushed in from behind. Gets the no scope, and Jerry chimes in for a kill. Double kill from Flit, peeks out wide, and that is just absolute control from FORZE. The aggression does pay off, and I mean, I don't know what I mean. How did he get in lower turn? I have no matter what, a very good round indeed from FORZE.
It seems to be the first 5 rounds of a map. FORZE just really can't get anything going, but after that point in time, they do start to wake up and they do start getting rounds on the board. One away from tying it all up, and against an eco, that is very likely to be the scoreline at the end of round number 10. 5 apiece. It's another very balanced start to a map. These teams ever so close to each other. Flit really has been a player who stepped up for the FORZE side. Not normally somebody you're mentioning too much in terms of fragging, but he's just been having a great day on both Train and now Dust 2. Sobol, he can't make it more than 1 kill for the PACT squad, so it's limited economic damage, and the second orb actually not recovered because it's Exapower who's close to it, and he's already got an AWP in his hand. So another one does have to be bought, but that's not too bad for the cash of the CT side. As we head to round number 11, one of these two teams will have to take the lead.
Now let's see who it's going to be. Of course, pretty close between these two teams. I mean, the rounds have been pretty much traded all over the place as we are watching this go. They're getting so much aggression done on the CT side, but it is too slow on the peak. Jerry is going to get the catch, and again, FORZE have pretty much been aggressive every single round, and PACT have not read it a single time on their offensive side. Rather unfortunate to see this, because of course when PACT tried to go aggressive on their CT side, they got read every single time by FORZE earlier on Train. And now 3 players towards long A. They need to start pushing forward sooner rather than later on PACT, and just group up, see if they can overwhelm that A bomb site. It is still a tough one to take, especially with Flit dropping the bomb right there, getting the intel for his team. Towards Struck is going to be just fine, and they will try and molly him out. The flash comes out as well. He's going to peek in aggressively, gets his kill and a tag onto another one, and honestly, Flit is doing all the work right now with the op, looking like the stronger opper between him and Ecstasy Power, and even Maniz will eventually get his head chopped off by Goofy, but Goofy will fall to the other primary opper, and with that, it's FORZE actually taking 6 in a row and taking back the lead.
PACT, they just walk into Flit's crosshairs, and he has not been missing many shots on that secondary AWP. He's got twice as many kills as FORZE's primary AWPer and best player in the form of Exapower at the moment. So Flit is really having a big one in this series. You can tell he wants that playoff spot and is hungry for it. Maniz takes down Exapower actually very early on with a wallbang shot through the door. I can only assume that's the result of some spammage. So close range with the AWP. I wonder what he was thinking there. As Sobol takes down Jerry now as well, it looks as though PACT might be looking to put a stop to this FORZE streak.
I would assume that is their plan, and it does seem to pay off so far. The smokes come out towards the A site, and FaceCrack's trying to play around the smoke, gets himself a kill onto Goofy. Flit gets the catch onto Lunatic with the op, and they just fall back. Flit on site being boosted, actually close to site being boosted. The spray comes out, FaceCrack gets the kill. Flit even catches Sobol, and what are these inhuman reactions coming out from the FORZE players, turning that 5 versus 3 situation into a they just absolutely annihilate them. Malmuser and Flit keep those ops alive, and it does look like PACT have lost every shred of skill that they had at this late hour.
Flit has had 16 kills in 12 rounds played. That is absolutely phenomenal from him on the CT side of Dust 2. 3 more to go. in this half. And it's a semi-buy that PACT are going to use to try and crack into the B bomb site. Molotov keeping them at bay for now. But they are going to be rushing ahead of that smoke, trying to overwhelm Almaza, who is struggling to land that spray down, but Flit's found a kill onto Goofy. Maniz has taken down Jerry, but Flit is literally a madman. Maniz through mid, though, with a recovered M4 has been able to put him down. But Exapower with that spam keeps it in the 2v2. The rifles have not been recovered by the PACT side. The only one that they had available, I believe, was in the hands of Maniz, and he just ran straight out into mid with it. Now Sobol and Lunatic have to defend B with a P250 and a Mac 10.
Up in hand, Ecstasy Power. It is pretty weak weapons still from the PACT side, but Ecstasy Power whiffs that shot. Facecrack cannot convert it, and it is finally a 1 round again for Lunatic, for PACT, and that is their first in 7 that they managed to finally convert in their favor. We'll try and get those last couple of rounds, but I'm not really so sure if they will succeed because their actual gun rounds have not been looking that impressive so far.
Not at all. Not at all. Flit missing a shot for the first time in a while now. In his defense, he's completely blind and he's firing through smoke, but it's all right because Facecrack has just got a cheeky double kill up towards A short. No worry about it. We can give Flit a bit of a rest on the fragging because Facecrack is ready for his turn. Good nade onto Lunatic as well, tagging him down to 67. Flit and Facecrack are both very low, but Exapower has just taken down Maniz. Darko will get Jerry at bare minimum and follow up onto Flit through the smoke, so that does make this rather dangerous for the PACT side. If Facecrack goes down aggressively, this is a very winnable round, as Lunatic won't be able to find the low HP player though. Darko is left in a very difficult 1-on-3. His position known, and Exapower missing some shots so far on Dust 2. He misses the close range one onto Darko and lets the headshot befall him. Almaza thankfully is there on the flank for FORZE. That's 8 rounds secured for the CT, and they have the economic advantage heading into the last of the half.
Yeah, that is gonna be a pretty painful one right there. It is FORZE getting, PACT getting pretty close to turning that one around, but this is FORZE winning the half after being 5-0 behind. Lunatic just completely standing still, so okay, I thought they might have just randomly DC'd and that they would call a pause or something, but I guess just had to scratch something. It is running low on utility. Weapons on PACT are not the greatest, and Maniz with that op really needs to make something more work than that we've seen so far. Ecstasy Power with the op towards short. Lisa has an even scoreline right now, and Flit chiming in with a kill, catching out Maniz. The main opera from PACT is just, this is not his map, it seems. Absolutely getting annihilated. Flit really woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and with that flank coming out from Facecrack as well, Ecstasy Power gets taken down by Lunatic, but they will not expect Facecrack to come in. The spray comes through, but does not know exactly where the other player is, but the taps come out, and Facecrack does win that engagement. 9-6. FORZE in the lead, and now going to the T side, which should be the favored side on this map.
It certainly should. They put PACT on their weaker half as well of this map, and this now should be FORZE's chance to try and win out the map of Dust 2 to put themselves in the playoffs of our 8th Malta Vibes Cup. Utility coming out for Almaza and Facecrack. Upgraded pistols going out as well in the form of P250s, but it's just a couple of flashes with USPs to support them from PACT. A pistol round victory could mean a tied scoreline, but the odds from our partners over at LootBet seem to indicate that FORZE have control of this map. Goofy at long range is trying to open up with the USP, but all he's getting is tagged down at the moment. No kills found for him. The double smoke for the cross comes through, and the plant should be found on this bomb site. Sobol swings out to try and take it down. Where is the comms? How has he not found that kill onto FaceCrack? That is very lucky indeed. Mani's now going for the jump shots as he tries to get creative. Sobol eventually will find Flit, and Darko at long range is trying for damage, but he is the last man left alive for PACT now, and with 3 full HP players before him, he won't be able to do much to stop them. Double digits secured by FORZE as they hunt down 12-6 with the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, that is a nice one from FORZE. However, there are going to be scouts and deagles picked up on PACT, so it is still very doable to turn that one around. We've seen a lot of damage being dealt by those weapons lately. But yeah, it does look like FORZE are pretty much in the driver's seat right there. Ecstasy Power getting the catch onto Mani's to start it off with. Scout tag through the double doors in mid. Jerry spots a player out towards shore, but Sobol gets the kill. Nade lands on Flit as well, forcing him back and doing a ton of damage to him. And that is scary because there is a gun dropped in lower tunnel. Sobol gets a catch in mid onto Ecstasy Power, and a man advantage all of a sudden gifted to PACT. This is not what they wanted to have happen on FORZE. Will they be able to recover from this deficit, though? It is still, of course, very possible with their weapons, but
well,
PACT can easily shut them down if they make a mistake.
FaceCrack has now recovered a rifle, but he was on just a Glock until a few seconds ago. That would have been very dangerous had he been one of the last few players alive on his squad. That's another scout tag. In fact, Sobol can follow that up for a kill. FaceCrack low, but Darko's already finished this one off. FORZE, they just peak too slowly, really. Go in one at a time, try and hit headshot angles for early kills, and the Deagles come out on top of that one for PACT.
Yeah, Darko notices, wait, there was a second player supposed to be here somewhere. Starts spamming the smoke and will get the kill. And with that, the reversal coming through, PACT will get themselves guns on the board and have the advantage. Ecstasy Power with the scout is going to go for that extra money so that he can go for the T-sided op later on. But the advantage is now for PACT, and there's a straight up rush towards A long getting shut down immediately, and now they're gonna just go towards A short instead for the FORZE side.
No AWPs on the board, but that scout could clean up a couple of unarmored players here. Mani's looking to land the shots. It's Sobol who finds the first head, but Flit can take him down, and actually Mani's goes down to the scout of Exa Power. Goofy is all the way down in the long pit, and that nade doesn't quite find Almazar. That means he's alive and able to watch out the A short angle. Goofy's trying to tag down damage at long range here, and they do keep swinging into him, which is something they may want to stop. Exa Power has taken Goofy down now, but Lunatic removing Flit makes this very difficult for the FORZE AWPer. He's not able to do much with the scout, and with kits in hand, PACT can retake the bomb site. 2 alive, they get through the force from FORZE. That should be 8 and 9th in the follow-up, and PACT very close to tying up this map again.
Yeah, that is the PACT probably gonna be facing up against an eco, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols, but that should be about it. And then you're looking at a 10-9 scoreline, almost evening it all out. Then the buy round will come. Wait, what? They're forcing up on FORZE again?
Oh dear, this is what started happening on Inferno. We know how that T side went. There's the smoke for the Molotov on B. They're trying to catch the B players off guard. Lunatic around the corner, though. They've been late to clean him up, and they need to find Darko before he gets another kill. That is now manageable from the T side, but these rotations are very quick, and the bomb is not down. Molotov going out to try and keep them at bay, and they have done heavy damage with the outpouring of utility there, trying to keep PACT away. They throw the bomb across to the site. It should be recoverable and plantable, but all of this time has been used by PACT to rotate into the tunnels. With FORZE not putting the bomb down, it gives so much time for PACT to work with when they have the weapons advantage and a Molotov to deploy in the site.
The only problem is that they're running low on HP. Almazar gets the kill on Sobol. Maniz trades with Almazar in return, but it's now all on Maniz. Has to save the M4, and that is going to be FORZE with the Force. I'm never gonna get, it's never gonna get old, but we'll be able to win that round. And even getting rid of Maniz in the end, no money left on PACT, and their force up rush B call did pay off against all odds, against my odds. They managed to take that one in their favor, and that is going to force PACT on an eco, which is looking the other direction right now, to a 12-8 scoreline for FORZE.
PACT have got a pretty tough decision to make. The main problem that they face is Goofy and Lunatic just have nothing. They can't really justify an investment here. But the fact that they have nothing on the board means that those two players would probably have to double eco anyway, so they're weighing up the pros and cons here of an investment in this round, knowing that Lunatic and Goofy won't have the best weapons in the next anyway, or the save to buy up next. It looks as though they are going to be going for the full purchase in this one. Scout for Maniz. And pistols coming out elsewhere. That's going to be 12-8 if FORZE win this round, and off the back of that, it would have to be a PACT eco then, potentially allowing 13-8 the way of FORZE. No timing found by Exapower's glass cannon orb, interestingly enough, but oh, the force buy is being overwhelmed by the Mach 10 of Facecrack charging up long. Sobol can capitalize off of a kill based on the flashbang, but Flit pushing into mid is starting to put these CT players to bed. Darko on 3 HP is going to swing out wide, but Almaza can clean him away. Now the eco has to come through from PACT around late, and FORZE with an opportunity to pick up a 13th round here.
Yeah, this force up, not really my favorite thing to see at that moment. You save one round and you have enough for a decent amount of weapons on the Actina PACT side. And with that, 13-8 looking pretty likely. PACT, they're now in a lot of trouble. They're going to go for the A long group stack. Cherry peeks out wide. He's going to get flashed completely, but it's just looking for some nice eco frags on the last man standing. Darko will get taken down, and 13-8 for FORZE. PACT, is this actually going to be where you're going to fumble everything and lose it outright in the end? They were so close. I mean, they should have definitely won the last map, first of all, but it would still be sad to see them crushed at this moment.
Dangerous scoreline for PACT at 13-8. This is a real opportunity for FORZE, and they know it. Look how default PACT have gone in their early setup as well. Just 3A, 2B, no mid commitment. Do have Maniz on an AWP. He's sat in the A bomb site watching mid at long range, and Flit is trying to creep into this B bomb site. He's taken a lot of nade damage, but he's looking to push through this smoke and find a kill. Lunatic's just reloaded, but Darko is ready at close range to find that headshot. No sneaky business in the B bomb site for FORZE, and they're looking to try and make moves now over on the A side of the map.
Yeah, they're gonna attempt that A push towards site. Facecrack is gonna jump down below, but Maniz gets the opening, the kill coming through. Facecrack doesn't spot anyone out, but Sabal still towards the A site ramp is gonna be able to get the kill, and it's now XC Power and Almazar. They are just whiffing their shots all together in unison, and Actina PACT will keep everyone alive, so that is some nice money that they keep going. However, FORZE do have more than enough money for a full buy into this one. They actually would not have another buy into the next one if they would lose this one, so still a little bit of a dangerous moment here for FORZE.
It could quite be. PACT have a route back into this game. And listen, FORZE have already lost Dust 2 today, 16-13. We know it's a possibility. Goofy. It's heavy long commitment from pretty much all of PACT, but it's entries all day for FORZE. Double opener on long, and the rotations coming through from B. Maniz eating bullets in the car angle as well. Exapower might even go for a cheeky little pre-fire here. He's going to try and drop down into the pit, but the Molotovs are raining out. Maniz has whiffed the shot even. And that could be the A-bomb site open. Darko is waiting with this flashbang for the perfect timing to deploy it. Swings out off the back, but that smoke gives cover to the T side. Drops the HE grenade and the Molotov as well in desperation to try and keep FORZE at bay, but there is a flank coming through at the moment as well. Jerry's taken down Darko, and Lunatic in CT is worried that there could be a flank. He is cognizant that FaceCrack is on the way and is not able to find the kill. 14-9 up go FORZE, and PACT now enter dangerous waters.
Yeah. This is do or die. Will you eco and try and go for the force up into the next one? See if you can fight up against OT, or are you gonna just continuously force up, which seems to be the case. I mean, Darko's on 22 frags, Sobol's on 19. Rest of their team is not, I don't think, even on double digits in this map. So that is just an absolute carry from two players on the PACT side. Oh yeah, no, Goofy is on 10. Okay, but Maniz and Lunatic both under the double digits, so not too great of a score at the moment, but they do manage to get the opening kill here on Sobol. However, gets taken down in return by FaceCrack. The flash was not perfect enough. Lunatic's getting aggressive towards B, and that is the B site open to take if they want to, but they're just gonna rush out A. They don't care about going for the safer side. They get almost everyone except for Darko. The top fragger of PACT will not find himself a kill and will get taken out instead. One more round needed for FORZE. Series point. Loser gets eliminated. Winner gets to go to bed. Well, the loser gets to go to bed as well, but the winner actually does have to play tomorrow in the playoffs up against, I have no idea up against who. Pretty decent team.
I'm sure we'll see those determined playoffs matches at the end of the broadcast, but PACT, to think they came so close to winning this series on train, just a couple of rounds away, but they lost control of their pick, and now FORZE are not messing around here on Dust 2. Early nade actually doesn't deal any damage onto Darko as he is tucked far enough around the corner to avoid it. It looks like they want to go for a full B execution here, and I mean, against the pistols, why not? They just have to peek the right angles and use the right Molotovs, and they will have this round in their favor. They don't spot Darko out close though, and Lunatic's actually the man who gets both kills. He's still alive back in the B-bomb site and looking for more. Exapower and Jerry can open up for two though, and that's a scout and a deagle looking to find their way into the B-bomb site on the retake. Bomb has still not arrived to be planted yet. That's going to allow some aggressive movement from Goofy in the tunnels, but it's still a retake needed. 2-on-2 in the B-bomb site.
Yeah, will they expect the angles to come through? Of course. Ooh, there's going to be a tag from Ecstasy Power. Will not get the kill just yet, but he does expect the scout to come in. Maniz gets the kill, but Jerry already crawled his way through the window, and he is pretty low, though. One body tag from Maniz should be enough. Oh. What is he's trying to knife him? Are you kidding me, Jerry? Don't you dare. Oh my god.
Are you gonna do it? Oh, he nearly got it done with the knife at the very end. This map of Dust 2, pretty much chaos from start to finish until FORZE took control of the scoreboard and were able to close things out at 16-9. What an incredible performance between these two squads. An incredibly long and drawn out battle, but it is going to be FORZE that are your second side advancing to the playoffs, and sadly for PACT, they have been eliminated from this series. Thank you all so much for